All right, hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I see we've got a Turin and we've got a Seru. How are we doing, my friends, this evening? Welcome to session number 77 of Unlikely Heroes, our regularly scheduled Sunday night Dungeons and Dragons one shot. 77 sessions later. Okay, yeah, so we're going to dive into it. Y'all already know the routine, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. We are going to dive straight in. We've got the entire party here, which is awesome. Just so you guys know, I will say this. I am currently working on 3 monitors as of today instead of 2, and that is to help me kind of streamline combat and situations and lore and stuff. So if you see me glancing all over the place, it's because I'm literally surrounded by a half circle of monitors right now, and I think it's going to help me streamline combat a lot, and it's going to make the game move a little quicker because I can get to all of my notes, all of my lore stuff, all of my rules questions as they pop up, and then obviously when combat comes, I won't have to tab in and out for every single move and click, which is awesome. So I'm working on a janky desk right now. I have a new desk ordered. It will be here next week on Saturday, and that is a 67-inch long desk, which will fit all 3 monitors on top of it comfortably. And yeah, we were gonna we'll just see what happens. So, anyways, Dungeons and Dragons. Hold on to your butts because it's gonna be a weird one. We'll see you guys at the tail end of stream, or I may pop in on occasion throughout. I thought you were gonna say you were working on a Midnight Metal campaign. No, Seru. Nope. I'm good with two full campaigns. Oh, actually, you know what? On that note, I haven't said anything in Discord yet because I was just today's been fucking busy and it's Sunday, so my quote unquote day off that doesn't work. Our next campaign 2, the Wildlands campaign sessions will be next Saturday, July the 1st, and the following Saturday, July the 8th. We are going to do both of July's games, part 1 and part 2, back to back. So they'll be from 10 to 2 Eastern time next week Saturday, and then the following week Saturday, and then we won't touch that campaign again until August. So, without further ado, my friends, session number 70.
To do if she channels her inner Aurora.
Maybe they won't kill us.
Okay, no, they'll definitely fucking kill you. Let's see here, because I already knew what you're talking about. Last session number 76. You guys... Excuse me, I had spit just like supposedly try to choke me out. It was like, oh, sweet, windpipe, let's do it. So you guys, at the beginning of last session, you guys found yourself asleep. At least Ree and Gray did. Doc brought herself back to the cabin because she decided against sleeping in the bowels of a what seemed to be anyways a volcano, and she decided against that, which was a smart thing, I think. Anyway, so you guys went to sleep. And within the course of the rest, which began peaceful, fire and brimstone and darkness began to twist and wind and curl up around you. And as it did so, you found yourself in the throng of this nightmarish hellscape. Literally hellscape. There was lava fonts and flows all over. The whole place was surrounded by this dome of shadow, and on the outside of this dome of shadow you saw this looming draconic figure sitting and hovering above it. It was about that time that you realized that in the dead center of this place, this realm, Sybil... Jesus Christ, see, this is why I can't have all you people playing in my same damn campaigns. Aurora, it was definitely not Sybil. Although Sybil probably has nightmares similar to this.
It's been like 3 months
I
ago
know.
for Sybil.
I would say anything that happens gives Sybil nightmares.
I know. Jesus. So Aurora was strapped to a large... She was chained down by these almost writhing, living, shadowy tendrils to this large stone altar, around which stood 2 red draconic humanoid figures, and below them were these 2 large, very large dog breed-sized draconic beings. combat began instinctually, and these things began to charge. As they charged, you guys worked your magic quite literally and figuratively, and throughout the course of this combat, you managed to successfully not only defeat these things, but to free Aurora in the process. During the time that this was happening, you heard a very familiar voice, the voice of Nilthraxian, reaching out to you, taunting you, attempting to sow seeds of fear and doubt and chaos amongst your individual psyches. Sometimes succeeding, sometimes not. As the last of these creatures fell, and its body dissolved into ash, there was a brilliant flash of light, and the four of you woke up, glanced around, realized that felt a whole lot more real than it probably should have. Some of your injuries still lingered from that realm. Your exhaustion lingered from that realm. You still benefited from a full night's rest, but not by much. So, we will begin today's game, today's session. It is Jury the 7th at 9 a.m., which is exactly where we started. Well, that's exactly where we were going to be starting it last session, but technically we were doing like a retroactive throughout the night. So now it is truly Jury the 7th at 9 a.m. You have all just awoken, or have been awake and are kind of slowly coming to. And again, to reiterate from the end of last session, Aurora is here. She is here with you now.
With all her stuff. Do we have a long rest benefit?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, everybody got a long rest benefit.
Just make it sure.
And yes, I know that when Aurora was in the realm, whatever nightmarish realm that was, she did not have any of her stuff. She does have that now. Okay.
And her scales have changed yet again, right?
Say what?
And her scales have changed yet again, now
No.
being red and white. You said?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up really bad. Did you say her scales changed again to what? I heard red and what? White.
Yeah, at the end of the very last session, you said that she was now red and white.
Yes. No. That is correct. I apologize. I couldn't hear you because it was really choppy. Yes. So, and it's not like half and half. It's not like you've got a domino mask or anything like that on. It's much more speckled in, as far as the white is concerned. Dominantly red, but definitely a little bit of white. Visibly.
That is so cool.
Okay, so, yeah, go ahead.
How much HP do we get back from a long rest?
No, you guys are at full HP.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Sorry. So those wounds. So the physical wounds, meaning like the actual, like you got hit with X, Y, and Z and got hurt. Those wounds are non-existent. If you suffered a death, that death still exists, though you are still potentially alive. Or you are still alive. Everybody wakes up, so hopefully you're alive. And if you took any of the other negative effects, which I would have noted at that point, and I did not take my own notes on it, then those also linger when you are here, and that would be the levels of exhaustion from the penetrations of Nilthraxian on you. That sounded really weird the way that came out. But yeah, the mental penetrations. There we go. Yes,
That doesn't sound any better.
No, it doesn't. You're right. But yes, physical wounds gone. But anything else that was there mentally, you still have. So with that being said, your guys' combat netted 1,125 experience each, and you got 500 experience for roleplay. So that brings everybody to a total of 1,625 XP for the session, bringing grade to 49,106. So big congrats to Lucy for your level up. Aurora, 48,344. Congratulations on your level up. And the remaining 2 party members to 51,174. So, Gray and Aurora, if you would mind, go ahead and just roll your hit die in chat, and then adjust your hit points accordingly. And then, yeah, go ahead and take a few minutes to do your level up as we work kind of into this next scene. All right, any questions, comments, or clarifications, my friends?
Checking to make sure my sound's a little bit better.
It sounds great. Yeah, honestly, I up until that point where I was questioning what you were saying, I had heard it pretty much flawlessly. There was just a hiccup, so.
Okay. And then sorcerers are D6, right?
Yes.
I'm blinking.
Yep. D6 plus con. Plus if you have any weird draconic shit.
Yeah. Wow, Lucy just like doubled his hit points over there.
I think that's the first time. Well, actually, I think he's got a -1, doesn't he? Yeah, so he's actually got 7. Still, I think that's the best he's rolled since the beginning of the campaign. Actually, I'm positive.
Yeah, easily.
All right, cool. So Aurora, that would be 4 for you? 4 total? So I think that brings you to what, 62?
I'm going to also get the draconic extra hit point from that, so I think it'll end up being a +5, so 63.
Excellent. Actually, no, you get 2 hit points. Your draconic resilience gives you 2
wow.
HP
Okay.
increased. Oh, no, it doesn't. No,
I
it
was
doesn't.
thinking-
No,
Oh.
no, 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 I'm wrong. The way that they're updating it in D&D Beyond is based on your sorcerer level. Currently, you're level 2, so you have 2. So when you level up to 3, it'll give you that 3rd.
Just dangled that extra hit point in front of me. I'm gonna die later because I'm gonna be down a hit point.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Only she had one more hit point.
Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. The scene is set. It's about 9 a.m. on Thursday, the 7th of Jury, and you guys are awake, kind of chilling and doing your thing. What would you like to do?
So, okay, so you guys are y'all saying that you actually had that dream as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that was a dream. I think we were pulled into. If you think about who's stalking us, I think we were pulled into a bit of a nightmare realm.
So wait, so Nothoraxian can just do that now, willy nilly? Like,
It's possible that he found a way. He found some kind of loophole, maybe through this. So remember, I maybe I didn't get to tell you guys, but when I spoke with Xavier, he said that there's like a bubble that's protecting us, basically, and Nothoraxian's trying to get through it. And I'm wondering if he didn't poke a little hole or somehow managed to find a loophole of some kind.
does that mean he's getting stronger?
It could.
That's concerning. So even if we kill all his Saurus-sworn babies, he still might punch through. 'Cause I was kind of under the impression that we were like weakening him by doing this.
No, from what I understand, it's not so much weakening as it is he's losing interest. So the more of them that are dead, the less he's going to care about punching through. That's what I was led to understand. That's what Xavier understands.
We gotta hurry the hell up because that was some crazy shit. I mean, it was kind of cool for me, but I don't think it was cool for everybody else. It's hitting people like trucks. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I was getting hit pretty hard. I didn't love it. Also, Aurora, you don't remember how you got there? You were on the back of a dragon and then...
Aurora just kind of looks up at Doc and just shakes her head once and goes back to whatever she was fiddling with, probably her bow.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Oh, hey, you got more colorful. scales on your face. Nice.
Yeah.
She just kind of gives a little half shrug to that. What she is doing while they're talking, though, is she is going to, first of all, she's inwardly reflecting on this new knowledge that she seems to have gained. But she's also going to ask Ashraladon if she is worthy of getting any information about what the fuck is going on with Mithraxia now.
Make a charisma check.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just do that in roll 20 because
Okay.
I'm midway through leveling.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. All right, so
Oh no.
that's a 5 total. You are met with cold silence.
She obviously is not gonna push it, so she's probably doing the familiar bow check kind of things, checking the arrows, just kind of processing.
I don't like the idea that you can just fall off of the back of a dragon and be pulled somewhere.
Yeah, like, is that gonna be like a normal thing with great granddaddy there, or is that like a one and done kind of scenario?
I don't know what happened, Ree. I told you.
I will say the voice that I heard there didn't sound your great granddad's voice.
Candace, you're getting real quiet.
Sorry, I'm scooting.
No, that where we were, all of that wasn't him. Those were illusory sorcery wrought by, well, I think we know who.
Yeah. We gotta take care of this guy sooner rather than later for sure.
Well, if I believe the last of his remnants is in the swamp, and if Xavier's to be believed, if we get rid of those, we should get rid of it, be able to.
Yeah, we definitely need to continue, I guess, hoofing it because I'd rather. I mean, so okay, we have to do this carefully though, because if we show up and we're not ready, you have to remember too that he gave us a contact. The name was Kelmar Dwarfsith, remember? He's just northeast. He's in the northeast quadrant of the swamp. I think we should stop there first. Because if there's any help we can get with what's been going on there. I'm not keen to fight any more of these things any faster, but
Like, do we know if we're looking for like a hut or something like that, or a village?
I'm sure he's in a hut.
Fuck wants to live in a hut in the swamp?
Apparently, this guy.
Do you think we should talk to the archdruid about our dream? See if maybe she has any idea about what that means. If it means she's getting more powerful, or does he know? Does she know about Northartian? We tell her. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure she mentioned it last session.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I believe she said he's intruding in her mind as well. So I
Right.
suppose it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to be careful. She seems really damaged already.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She seems fine to me.
Oh, she would. But we need to make sure we're leaving places better than we found them. I don't want to be causing chaos and leaving it behind.
Well, hey, we're doing pretty well so far. The last two villages we went to didn't run us out. So,
We
on a roll.
improved. Yeah, we improved Voodoo greatly. Just keep that shit up.
All right, so yeah, Ree is going to kind of gather up her stuff, and then kind of poke her head. So is this room kind of like divided by like just like a curtain, or is it like?
Yeah, so there's a portiere that kind of separates that separates you guys from like what would be a very, very small hallway, and then like a large open room.
And that's where the archdruid was. We met her before in that
Yeah,
room?
yep, she was there the night before.
Yeah, we will just kind of poke her head through there and see if she's still there or if anybody's there at all.
Okay, yeah, so you poke your head through, and yeah, you see 3 or 4 attendants. There's 2 elven men, an elven woman, and then there's a large, kind of grungy-looking, white, wiry-haired wolfhound, a dog. And it is kind of sitting next to her and looking up with its head rested on her knee. And she's back in that same exact meditative state with her hands on her knees. Her eyes are open, but she's just taking, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And these 3 druids are walking around her and like wafting like burning sage and rosemary, and like one sprinkling her with this little like probably not bronze, probably more of like a polished or cured wood censer, and they're just kind of doing circles around her.
No, that doesn't look like something I should interrupt. I'm gonna back out. Sorry for all the yelping in the background, by the way.
No, it's okay. Have fun.
He's playing Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
He gets very animated when he plays it.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't interrupt. If worst comes to worst, like either I or Gray could maybe send a message. We have quite a bit of travel ahead of us.
Well, like another 2 days, right, or so.
Yeah, I think it's about that.
I feel like it could be more. We just reached the Druid's Grove.
Well, we have a lot of travel ahead of us, so. I guess let's get our shit together and get moving. The longer we sit around, we could be talking while we're walking. So.
Sorry, I had to shut the door.
I love
Sorry, Xavier.
Yes.
About the level up thing.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to remove one spell, right? And then replace it with something as long as it's a spell and not a cantrip.
Give me one moment. I'm almost positive that is how bards work. Almost positive, but...
Just making sure.
Yep. So, creating a bard, spell slots. Additionally, when you gain a level, you can choose one bard spell that you know and replace it with another spell from the bard list, which also must be of a level of which you have spell slots. So, yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, with that being said, what is it exactly that you find folks would like to do?
I think pack up our shit and start heading south. Continue down toward this wall.
Actually, I think we were going to go talk to her about an Alteraxian, the head druid.
Yeah, I was going to, but she's in the middle of some kind of
Like a
weird ritual, ceremony thing. They're like,
Right.
yeah, they're like doing stuff, and she was meditating, and it smelled weird, so I backed out.
I think that's called incense, right?
Oh,
Did it smell weird like poodoo, or did it smell weird like not poodoo?
I mean, I don't think I smelled that smell in poodoo.
Okay, yeah, it was probably incense.
Oh, okay.
If you've never smelled it before.
Smelled a lot of things in a lot of different places, but yeah, I don't think I smelled that in Podo.
If worst comes to worst, like I said, we can send a message, either myself or Gray, and ask her about it. I mean, at least we won't feel guilty if we interrupt something, because we won't know.
All right.
Do we need anything here while we're here? Do we need to like buy some more like arrows or potions or drugs? I still have drugs. We gotta find the
Doc
right
just
time to
kind
do
of
those drugs.
Doc just really slow blinks and slowly turns toward Bree, and then
Hey, it never hurts to. Oh, yeah.
not
It does
us.
hurt to ask.
Definitely doesn't hurt us.
Sometimes it kills to ask.
Sometimes it literally tears people in half to ask.
Literally. Yeah. I actually there is something I'd kind of like to ask about. I don't know if they'll have it here. It's probably something more like something more dwarfy. But let's see if there's anybody around that I could talk to.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
Do you allow the Treasury of Dragons book for spells?
Nope.
Okay, well that answers that. Okay.
Appreciate you asking though.
Yeah, I saw a really cool ice spell that I was looking at, but now I know what I'm doing. So
That I will be adding in those source books later on in later campaigns, but I have a set amount of books that I really focus on because I also master the ones that I involve so that I can easily answer them. And once we start involving all the weird other shit that they're adding, it's tough.
yep, nope, fair enough. I'm just doing basic Scorching Ray then.
Oh, that's a good fucking spell though. Don't give me no basic Scorching Ray. Scorching Ray is a good fucking spell.
It absolutely is. I was looking at really cool ice dragon weirdness. So there's weirdness or like it's a classic for a reason.
On a side note, I took Old Monster and then I replaced a spell I can't remember for Confusion.
Confusion's a very good spell. Very good spell. Cool. All right. So, Doc, what are you doing?
So Doc would she'd make sure all her shit is packed, but she's kind of hovering over Aurora right now, watching her every move. But once everybody's packed and stuff, was there like merchants? I don't remember if we were pointed toward merchants or if it was obvious.
You guys never asked. I mean, you guys got here and pretty much went straight to sleep. Now you know for a fact that there were merchants in the circle of the moon. So you would probably guess that there's somebody who has supplies somewhere, but you're probably not entirely sure. Now, what you know about the circle of the lands, especially since you've been here, is that this is a multifaceted biome within a biome. This is very strange compared to the rest of the world, but if you were looking for something specifically found in like one biome, it might be easier to find in said biome. Like if you were looking for, frog legs, probably go to the water biome. If you're looking for volcanic ash, you go to the volcano,
Yeah, and ruby dust is what I was looking for.
Ruby dust? Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you can see the map. You know exactly what's
Right.
where. So yeah, you tell me where you want to go and what you want to do.
What is this over here? Just rocks, like rock
Yep, it's like
formations?
mountains. Yep, it's just a big standalone mountaintop.
I don't want to waste too much of our time, but I have one thing I'm looking for. If you want to wait here, I can come back after.
Matt, we can stick to. I'll stick with you if you wanna.
Okay.
Go
I've got
wandering
nothing
around.
better to do.
Yeah.
Alright. I have an idea of where to start. If they don't have it, then it's fine. I'll get a different time. So she would head over toward there and see if there's anybody obviously peddling.
Ruby dust here. Who wants a ruby dust? I swear to God, if I ever become that DM, kill that NPC.
It's a trap anyway.
So you approach this. You said, I'm sorry, you said you're going to the mountain. Is that right? Yeah. So you walk towards this mountain, and as you approach it, it's weird because from a distance, it really didn't look that big. But now that you are like approaching the base of it, you're like, holy shit, are we near Grell? Like this thing crept up on you almost in an illusory sense to a point that is just mind-boggling. And you walked from the hut you were in to this spot in 4 or 5 minutes max. And that kind of distance should not have created that level of height. So something very odd has happened in that time. However, you approach the base of the mountain, and there are a series of caves carved into the base of this mountain. None of them are labeled. Merchants here find gems there. However, make a perception check for me. You better make it good or I'm gonna kill your fucking character. No, I'm just kidding. That was a yesterday joke. Okay, so 16. So as you kind of like walk past the row of cave mouths, there is one that a heavy scent of like sage and burning moss kind of seeps out of. And as you peek your head in, you see this elderly dwarven woman who has a chin strap goatee tied off into like a little 2-inch nub below her chin. She's got big bushy white sideburns and this just outrageous mat of hair that in itself is one singular gigantic dreadlock. It's kind of cool to see, but she's a little rough looking. But as you peek in, you see she is currently grinding something with what appears to be almost like a wheat wheel. It's like like the wheels that you would see in a mill that spins around and grinds wheat. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, that's what it is. But it's a miniature version of one, and as you watch, you realize it's not wheat or grain that's inside of it. It's some sort of soft rock, as it's a very loud and audible crunching sound, and you see almost a sand-like powder dripping out of it. She kind of takes notice of you at the door, and she looks up and she says in kind of broken common, "There's something I can help you with. Outsiders."
Zach will try to put on like her nicest smile and nod and I don't know if I'm in the right place or not. I was wondering, do you have ruby dust? She looks toward the grinding.
She kind of glances down at her work and looks back up at you. In almost 285 years of existence, that is probably the weirdest request I've ever had from outsider. What do you need ruby dust for?
I use spells.
Congratulations. So do I.
I need it for casting a spell.
Ah, a material component.
Mm-hmm.
What spell do you intend to perform with ruby dust?
Is Aurora in there?
Oh yeah, she absolutely is, but she's by the door.
Okay. She'll like kind of look over her shoulder and then lower her voice a little bit and say, "Continual flame."
She blinks, kind of heavy. Huh. Okay. I too have seen this performed by the priests of Silvanus and the couple of Yandala, the halfling priest here. I've seen him do that too. It makes a fire that lasts forever, they say. Yes?
Yes.
She kind of blinks heavy at you. I don't mean to be rude, but you're a gnome. Can't you see in the dark, like your brethren? Or do you suffer from night blindness?
No, I can see in the dark just fine. A member of our party cannot.
She kind of, like, looks the group over.
If Gray heard that, which I mean, he can read lips, so probably he'll absolutely be pointing at Aurora, just like the straight down.
Yeah, so, yeah, he definitely would have heard it because, I mean, you have a fucking ridiculous perception, and she's not being quiet. So she glances up at you, Gray, and then down at Aurora, and then looks back at Doc and goes, "Huh. That's why the priest of Yandala cast continual flame so much. Interesting. Well, let me check my stock. I will be right back. I grind many rock here. Many gemstone. I have lots of things, and as you glance up now, you see that the walls of the inside of this cave have been chiseled out to create, like, small, recessed shelves. And scattered throughout the entire interior are, like, clay urns. You swear that if this were, like, ancient Egypt, these things would be filled with fucking organs or, like, dead mummified cats. There's a lot of them. Very canoptic jar looking, but definitely, well, maybe, who knows? These are druids, man. They're weird. So she turns around and she approaches a small doorway that is very loosely covered by a stone slab. She puts her hand on the slab and she whispers something under her breath, and as she does so, the slab binds to her flesh. You see her hand turn gray and become one with the stone. She picks the entire stone slab up with a single hand and sets it to the side before her hand kind of comes unglued from it and she enters a rear room.
He's fucking weird, guys.
Awesome.
Honestly, it's not the weirdest we've seen yet.
Nah, that's fair.
If I picture Grace still kind of like pointing at her,
Absolutely.
so she's just gonna kind of look up at the hand, give Gray a look, and just sidestep by like 4 inches.
I'd like to think that it's still on her just because it's that long.
Doc's gonna turn around and smack his hand. Ass hat.
And Gray casts Hold Monster! No. You monstrous bitch.
Also, Aurora's gonna kind of be... She's thrown off by, the last night. She's gonna be going back to kind of the keeping an eye out the windows, the door kind of thing. Just more prepared than she has been lately.
All right.
And it's not as bad as like she was, but it's still a change.
Okay, so this old woman comes back probably a very heavy, like 15 minutes after you guys, after she leaves you, and you hear rummaging around, and you hear like, I'm sure we've all heard, and God, it sounds terrible to say this because I now do it, that I've crept into my mid-30s, the old man shuffle. You hear like the shuffle. I mean, she ain't picking them fucking feet up to save her life. She's got way more important things to do with that strength. But you hear the shuffling kind of back and forth and kind of like quiet curses under her breath. Finally, she comes out and she's holding this large, it looks like a clay urn, and she sets it down, and as she does, it sounds heavy. She turns it towards you, like to face you, and on the front of it is a massive, probably halfling fist-sized ruby, and it is melded into the front of the jar. She reaches up to the top, she twists, and as she pulls, there is just this little puff of red glitter that kind of comes up and out of the jar and settles down around it. She sets it down, lifts up a large stone scale, set of stone scales, and she says, "Now, how much exactly are you looking for?"
Uh, I was gonna just say 50 gold. I'm not sure how much that would be. I apologize. I'm not well versed in gems.
Understood. Do you have any rubies you'd like to trade?
I don't.
If you do,
Apple.
that makes it much easier for me to weigh. If not,
Yeah.
and she lays out this set of what essentially looks like D6s but of varying sizes, then we will use the common folk way of doing it. And she picks up one about in the middle and she drops it in one side of the scale. The choice is yours.
Doc will turn and look at Gray, raise an eyebrow since she knows he's listening. He shakes his head.
No rubies here. Sorry.
And then she'll look to Aurora. Hey, Aurora, do we have any rubies in our purse?
I don't have any gems, but we can just pay for whatever you need.
Okay.
And
Put it
don't
on my
just
tab.
get just enough. Get what you need. And she
Okay.
like looks at Doc like dead in the eye and then says again, get what you need. We can afford it.
Okay.
I'm now looking at my inventory. I would like to add that Gray in one hand absolutely has a very fancy scepter.
Oh, yeah.
With a massive ruby adorned to the top. No.
Give it that.
You know,
That ain't
yeah,
your ruby!
add the description.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so Doc will, like, nod at Aurora and then turn and say, the 50 gold is worth this fine. And I wish we had rubies, I apologize.
Very well. It's no sweat off my back. She kind of takes this little clay scoop and begins to scoop what, as she pulls out of this jar, looks to you as if she ground rubies down to fucking dust and fills the other side of the scale until it evens itself out. She goes a little bit too much the first time, it dips down, she takes a couple pinches off and puts it back, and eventually it finds a very happy medium. And then she takes the stone D6 off of the left-hand side, takes the tray and empties it into a very tiny condensed pouch, ties it off with a little piece of hemp rope, and then she puts it on the counter in front of you. Well, I suppose that would be 50 gold.
She'll turn to Aurora and she'll, kind of, it's kind of awkward. She'll like, she's not used to asking for money.
Aurora just gives her the gold before she even has a chance to ask. Like she heard the 50 gold. She had it pulled. She was ready.
So then Doc will turn around. No, I gave all my coin over. So Doc will turn around and kind of gingerly place the coin on the table, trying not to let it spill anywhere, and then smile at her and wait to be told to take the bag.
She scoops the gold towards herself and she kind of drops it into this like wooden basket behind the counter, sets it down. She just kind of goes about her business, like putting the scale back together, closing the jar, and once she like gets everything off the counter, she kind of looks at you and she says, "Do you want your dust?"
Yes, thank you. She'll take the bag, turn around, and then she'll look at Aurora and she'll go, "Is it a tip?"
Are you asking
What?
me whether or not we should be giving extra coin for magical components? Why would you ask me that?
Give me 5 silver.
She gives 5 silver.
Doc will turn around and put it on the counter and say, "Hopefully this is decent, but thank you. I don't know how much work goes into grinding these." She's gonna awkwardly kind of start backing up.
She looks horrifically confused. as most druids you've tried to tip look horrifically confused. And she says, I think you've left some... Why? You told me 50 gold, not 55.
No, but it takes effort to do what you do, and I wanted to say thank you.
But
It's a donation
is-
towards the maintenance of your shop.
this is my job, and I carve the shop by hand. The maintenance comes from nature, and my abilities as a druid.
I was a surgeon before, and tipping was weird to me too, because nobody did it. And
Oh, I've heard this word before from the priests. You mean tithe.
yes,
I don't believe in the gods. I believe that I was born into this world naked and screaming, and I intend to leave it the same way as nature intended. You can take your money and give it to the gods.
okay,
Yeah, sure.
thank you.
And
No.
Gray will actually walk over, take it, and then begrudgingly hand it over to Aurora. Like there's a strong pause in debate, and then he'll hand it.
After
wait.
it's safely in Aurora's hands, Doc's gonna go, "Halo show."
So you grind like anything into powder?
Yes, that is my specialty. I use the strength of the mountain brothers that runs deep within my veins, and I crush. Do you need something
Hey.
crushed, young goblin?
Well, no, nothing that's made of rock. But do you have anything that can make me go fast?
That can make you go fast.
Yeah, like go fast powder, anything like that.
I don't think I tend to move very slow as far as life is concerned. My body has eroded like that of a mountain against the wind and the rain over centuries. I don't understand a whole lot of the fast, but if you want to talk to somebody who does move very fast, maybe go speak to Ishmael. He resides in the sand dunes to the east of here. Maybe he can help you with something that goes very quick.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Xavier, a quick DM
Yeah.
question.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm confusing this with Pathfinder or not, but is having a shield a proficiency I need to
Yes,
be able
yes.
to lift one?
Yep. No. You can equip it. It just doesn't benefit you.
Okay. Thank you. Because in Pathfinder, apparently everyone and their mother can use the shield.
And so it works the same in D&D. Give me one moment. Okay, so I just wanted to look up the actual verbiage here with non-proficiencies. So anybody can equip anything anytime they want to. However, only those proficient know how to wear it or use it effectively. Your class gives you proficiency with different arms and armor. If you wear that armor and you lack proficiency, you have disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls that involve strength or dexterity, and you can't cast spells. So if you put a shield on, sure, great. But you unfortunately... And you'll get the bonus. You'll get the +2 bonus. But you cannot cast spells, and all of your attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks that involve strength or dex are at disadvantage.
Thank you.
Yep.
In that case, it's good.
In that case, no thanks. All right. So, yeah. So, Ree, she finishes addressing you, and she looks to the rest of you. Any other strange... By the way, I want you to know that I've had this jar of ruby dust for 109 years, and only once ever have been asked for 50 gold piece worth. And that was my only customer until today. Very strange.
Congratulations. Anyway, do you know any? Do you know the right biome? I suppose where I might be able to find some lighter armor that might fit me.
She
I've been
blinks.
getting shot a lot.
She blinks a couple times and looks at you, and she goes.
Sorry about that, Gray.
She says, I don't mean to be rude or crass, but I don't know what the hell you are, or who the hell you are. So, what? Are you a soldier? A knight? Are you a cook or a baker? She glances you up and down, kind of focusing on your thighs and then like on your biceps, and she goes, honestly, you look like if I were to have taken you out in my youth, I'd have broken you on the first date. No offense, but you are frail, like a daisy that is attempting to bloom and give birth to seeds in the wind, in the middle of, well, Jury.
Doc snorts. She's trying to hold in her laughs, and she ends up snorting really hard.
Man, she knows you really well. Wow.
She glances over at
Fucking
Doc.
nailed
She's just like, I'm sorry, that was maybe a little bit harsh.
No, it's funny because it's true.
It
Hopefully-
was incredibly accurate.
Hopefully your strength of mind is a little bit stronger than your physicality and you can take the joke. But seriously, I don't know
He
who the
plays
hell you
music
are.
and people's heads explode.
I can attest.
She looks, her eyes go fucking wide at that, and then she looks straight at you.
I've not made anyone's heads explode. That's not me.
Yet!
Do cast magic.
Shoot for greatness. If play music is what you do, young fallen angel, play music so good that the heads of your enemies explode.
I'll leave the head exploding to these three. They're good at it. I'll just make our enemies worse at hitting them.
So you play terrible music and make them cover their own ears.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I appreciate
It's
your
great. It's
honesty.
wonderful.
You happen to know a place where I might find some armor, I guess, that could fit me. I can't wear heavy stuff, as you can see by my frailty.
She chuckles and she says, my boy, druids are not known for being able to wear armor of the common world, of the common peoples. I'm not entirely sure where you outsiders are headed in your journeys, but there are other places near here, on the outside of the grove, that may suit you better. If you're looking for somebody who does craft armor, though, out of the finest hides, including wolf, bear, stag, cow, I would say maybe head down to the south, near the winter biome, or even to the grasslands biome near Arc Druid La Suisse, and you'll find the tanners there.
Right. Thank you. I'll
there
try
any-
not to get blown away as we leave.
Excuse me, nobody else is laughing.
think
I
he's
thought that was
serious.
hilarious. No, I believe it. Let's see
No, I'm pretty
his
sure we're
arms.
concerned he's gonna blow away.
Maybe as you leave the cave mouth, you hold on to his arms, or somebody hug him around the midsection. Little goblin,
Okay.
you're about the perfect size. Maybe just give him a big.
Got it.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, all over it. Good, count on me.
If I need more ruby dust, I promise I'll come back.
Like I said, nobody's bought any in over 100 years, so feel free. Oh shit! Where did the halfling go?
The halfling is
I'm just being a smartass. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, she does that.
Yeah, she does do that. That's the funny part. She actually does do that.
Probably lost in a dire fern somewhere.
Oh no, that's the wrong biome. This is the mountains.
Behind a big rock.
Thank you for your patronage, and best of luck to you in your adventures.
Thank you.
She goes back to grinding the weird sandstone-looking rocks into powder. What do you guys do?
Doc will kind of take her leave. She'll like nod and head back out. Okay, that was what I needed. Sorry for using money. Put it on my tab. Pay it back.
It's fine, Doc. It's okay.
When we are outside of there, Aurora will say, I mean, we have a lot more money than we did when we went to bed. Or at least when I got on the dragon.
Where did it come from?
Probably something happened between when I got on Ishneer and when you... She hesitates and then says, found me.
Were you awake before we got there? This is as we're walking. Xavier.
Okay. Yep.
I suppose we should be getting on our way to continue our journey. I don't think I'll look well. I'll look good in wool for bear pelt.
Nah, we can get you some like purple leather or something like that. You know, some like
Purple's Xavier's color.
some black chaps or something. Assless chaps.
Is that a little jealous?
Jealousy for what? I'm more concerned as to what Rhea is proposing for me.
Mother of God.
I'm just saying you wear some you know some black leather or maybe some purple leather with some extra straps. You know, I think it'll look hot on you, babe.
How about we try it on once we get to an actual city?
Doc cringes. her little legs start walking so fast to try to get away from this conversation.
All right. So which
Aurora staying in the back of the party, actively avoiding Doc's questions.
So wait, you got treasure? You got chained down, disappeared, and got treasure. All I got was fired to my face repeatedly. What?
That's accurate.
But you joined the club. Congratulations.
What?
Next time someone's getting captured, Gray, I will gladly change places with you.
Yeah, I think I would very much prefer to be the one lying down and not being.
Which biome are you guys headed to?
I think we're just heading south, right, guys? We're trying to.
Yeah, I think we're just leaving. Yeah.
Oh, you're just okay. You're the fuck out of here. Okay.
Why don't we see if we can get food first?
We still have a lot of macarons, and they're gonna go bad soon.
Well then, may I have a macaron?
Maybe we could do some hunting on the way.
Yeah, actually, since just to be clear, since you guys have woken up this morning, I would have assumed that you needed to consume your rations for the day. So if you want to consume enough macarons to make today a macaron day. Now, from where you're at, just so you know, and I've just pulled up the large map. From where you guys are at, with the blue line being what your intended stop was. Obviously, we're looking at Lumber Camp Riptide now as... Whoops, hang on. Okay, so now we're looking at the X being your point of departure because you guys have already taken that time. So with that being said, you have knocked out the 5 hours it would have taken you from Lumber Camp Riptide down to the tail end of the Grove if you went to the western end of the Grove and hugged the river going south. So with that being said, you have 3 days, that is night and day travel, until you would successfully reach where you have been led to believe this person's, this entity, whoever they are, Xavier's contact, is in the swamp. So, we have 3 days travel. You are obviously more than welcome to hunt in that time. It is, at this point, we'll say probably 11 a.m. So if you want to go ahead and mark off the macarons, or would you rather hunt along the way?
I marked off 4 for today already.
And I do have one thing.
3 days.
Okay.
Okay, this is making me hungry. I'll be right back.
Lucy comes back with an entire fucking pizza.
It's gonna be a whole pizza.
It's
Before
not.
we go, Aurora is going to speak up and say, if we're going to be dealing with that again, if we can get more arrows, maybe not here, but I have enough for now. As she shifts one of the quivers, but I things aren't going to get easier.
I got some arrows. You want some arrows? I don't use them often.
Well, I don't want to take what you might need. I go through arrows fairly quickly.
Alright, well, if it turns out you need some, I'll throw some at you. Not the point.
Don't
Probably don't throw them.
Lob them
Let's
at you.
we maybe hand them over, like carefully.
No, lobbing would work.
No, it's like throwing scissors. It's just a bad idea.
Hey, Ree, pretend they're javelins.
No, Reed.
Oh, yeah.
You should definitely do that.
See, yeah, just you gotta aim for the quiver though. You know, that might be some entertaining campfire games. Just get the arrows in the quiver.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll do it.
Back shoulders raised very high with a very large sigh. Let's
It's on her back. Unless you wanna make this more.
We could put it on Gray's back instead.
No.
You kidding me? Look at me. The woman just clearly said that a light wind might blow me away.
Yes, and
No.
maybe a quiver full of arrows will pin you to the ground.
Permanently.
let's not talk about pinning anything into Gray. Done that.
I know there's something that you want to pin, Doc. And he's very obviously going to look at Aurora.
On that note, you have successfully exited the Druid's Grove. As you walk into the southern woodland portion of the grove, it does part for you, and you are capable of leaving without any issue whatsoever. You guys travel south along the river. Whoever is leading, please give me a survival check.
I'm assuming that's
for the first
Ree.
day. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing the taking up the rear of the party as usual.
Understood.
Old habit.
Beautiful. So, this part of the journey is actually, this whole journey is really easy because the way that you have traced it out is to just follow the damn river. And there's only one point where you have to make any big decision, and that is to cross the river. So, you get down to where the road intersects to bring you past Bree and towards Middleton. You cross the road and you go down another probably 2.5, 3 miles or so until you reach the bridge.
So ominously.
I know.
As you approach, you all can see clear as day ahead of you two absolutely massive, gluttonous forms sitting in front of you. Give me one moment. These
Fucking troll toll.
these creatures are very clearly, to all of you, does not take much effort to understand what these things are. They are hill giants. And Doc and Aurora and Gray, go ahead and give me history checks. Reed, because you're not quite in home turf, this is a kind of a specific thing for them. All of you get the information. As soon as you see them and realize that you are passing near Kerberg and Bree, it dawns on you as you see these two big fat fucks sitting at either end of the bridge, staring outward in their respective direction. Literally, the one facing you has got one massive index finger all the way up to his nose to where he's picking it, and you can see his eyeball bulging inward as he is creeping into his sinuses so deep. wearing nothing but a loincloth with a huge great club at his side. But you guys, all three of you know that in this area, there's probably a good 20-mile radius near Kerberg where hill giants are a constant problem. For whatever reason, in this area, they breed like rabbits, they eat like gluttons, because, I mean, they kind of epitomize gluttony, and they are relentless in constantly trying to assault, overcome, and consume everything in and or around Kerberg. And this bridge happens to be in Kerberg territory. So, you approach. Give me one moment. Wow, I just looked for my physical dice. Today's the first day I officially moved my physical dice away from my table because I added my third screen. So, give me 1 second. Alright. Neither of these fucking creatures seem to have noticed you approach. The one has its back turned to you, and that was a 1 that I rolled for the perception check, and the one with the finger up the nose rolled a 7. What would you like to do? As you are walking up, I mean, you can hear them too. I mean, there's just audible burps and farts. There's like corpses scattered around on the ground. Not humanoid, definitely like creatures, but there's like 4 or 5 raccoons, easily a dozen squirrels, like rabbits. There's a half of a cow, and you just hear. Actually, does anybody speak giant? Nobody speaks giant. So so as you're approaching and they don't seem to notice, you hear.
I think we should try to fucking sneak around him. How hefty does this river actually look?
So the river itself is flowing pretty fucking solid, especially considering it's mid-July. Everything is melting from the Grelian Mountains and is flowing downstream really hard. So while it's only, you know, about 13 or 14 feet wide, the water is cooking.
Yeah, it's gonna carry Gray away if we try to cross it anywhere else.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think I have the dimension door could get far across as long as I could see. The problem is I can take one other with me.
Why don't we look for a different spot where we might be able to cross, or without touching the water, rig something, use the bard's magic, something.
Remake a survival check.
I mean, these things do embody gluttony, and I am not putting my hope on this, but it is possible to talk, maybe? I don't know. I feel like if we walk up, they're probably just gonna eat us, but...
I'm sorry, by the way, I mentioned earlier the note about Kerberg. It was actually Blackberg, not Kerberg.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you.
Sorry about that. Wrong Berg. So, so with your survival check. I mean, you're the one who's been manning the map at this point. You know for a fact this is the only bridge between here and the sea. At least the only main bridge. This is a main road bridge. Actually, you even think to yourselves, it's odd that they're here because the path that you are on right now, technically getting ready to cross, is also the path that leads from, like, Middleton all the way to Port Werlin, which is usually patrolled by guards.
Well, I mean, these guys are going to be a problem to somebody anyway, like... So maybe we should just kind of, you know, take care of them one way or another, drive them away.
Yeah. Maybe we can convince them to leave.
Well, I don't speak giant.
I don't either.
Do either of you have magics to allow you to speak it?
Nope.
Well, then why don't we
I
go
can
out
understand it,
there?
but I can't speak it.
Okay. So if you can understand them, let's go out there, see if they speak common. See if they act with aggression. If we don't, if they do, we will, well, end their lives. And if they don't, maybe we will be pleasantly surprised by their civility.
Look, I know you're confident in re-strength, but I know you're a semi-decent shot. But the three of you here,
Take an inspiration point. That was the perfect fucking insult for a dark bard.
are the size of one of their toes, right? I get it. We fought dragons. But there's 2 giants here.
You agreed to take out hill giants, what, 2 days ago?
Yes. I did not actually expect that it would be... I was actually kind of relieved when he said we weren't gonna, but...
Well, did you suddenly grow cowardly in this time?
Oh, hell no. If we're going, we're going. I'm just saying, you guys have to know that these are giants. So,
yes.
if you aim well, Ree, aim for the nuts. You're the perfect height.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna go for nuts or kneecaps. Man. That's what you do.
We can also do what we did with the dire ape and see if we can end with one or both of them in the river.
That's true. These also don't look too smart, so I'll try my best to keep them down.
Can you blind them if necessary?
Yeah, can you do like your booyah that kind of like makes them all like fucking whatever that is?
As you all are
I'll
talking
see. It all
and
depends on them.
as you all are standing there and talking out loud in the middle of the road, they still don't seem to notice you. I swear to God, you guys, these fucking morons, big burly beefcake things. All right.
I feel like we might be able to just sneak past them.
We could always try and just lure them. Here's an idea. Bard, can you make an illusion to draw them away? We just need a moment to get over the bridge.
Distraction.
And we,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I can make it up to...
Bree had a good point, though.
Well, let's go see if they're hostile at all before we make assumptions. And then we make an illusion, draw them off the bridge, get across, kill them if we need to.
Sorry, I just kind of have a soft spot now because of everything we've been through and made friends with giants. And maybe they will be...
We've made friends with giants?
With ogres.
Oh yeah, the ogre.
Ogres are technically giants.
That's why we go and see if they're aggressive first.
Right, and if they are, then I agree.
Very well.
Okay, Bard, go
We
talk
have
to
to.
them.
What? Just me? No, you're not sending just...
I'll go
No,
too.
okay. Yeah. No.
Alright.
Do you think we should all go, or
need
should
at
maybe
least
like
one person.
yeah, somebody should stay
So you're
behind
the
just
one-
to kind of.
You're the one that can understand them. So you have to go. And
I figured I would be one of the ones going.
yes. Since we want someone to stay behind, and I, as you said, am at least a decent shot, and they are big targets, I'll stay here.
Okay,
We'll
I'll
see
stay
what
here
happens.
too.
Wonderful. Lovebirds, you go.
Okay, you two lovebirds, have fun too.
Not too much fun. It might be happening soon.
Hey,
All
Anyway,
right.
I guess I'll cast comprehend languages and start walking down.
Okay, so Gray, you perform. Is that concentration?
It is. No, it's ritual, so I can spend a few minutes before.
It's a lot of minutes.
It doesn't say it's concentration. It just says it lasts for an hour.
That's fine, but are you casting it as a ritual or with a spell slot? Because if it's a ritual, you've got potentially upwards of 10 minutes to sit here and cast that spell.
I'll just use the spell slot.
Okay.
It's first level. I'm not
Okay.
too shy about it.
Perfect. So you mutter the incantation, and as you do so, you grab onto your vocal cord and you finish it with a little... And as you do so, the reverberation kind of like rockets into your ears, and suddenly you understand everything. These fucking birds that are chirping are just like furious about the blue jays interrupting the fucking feeding frenzy by the robins, and the fucking squirrels are being chased away by the blue jays. You got the sense that the blue jays are assholes, which, by the way, blue jays are fucking assholes. But as you begin to approach these two entities, and by the way, was the voice over working earlier? The voice mod? Yeah, okay. So as you approach, the one with the finger up its nose, it pulls this long string of, like, yellow snot out of its nose, and it kind of, like, mashes into its hand like a spider web, and you hear it go...
Now that's strange. But it looks like your face, Jerry.
The other giant turns around, and he goes...
Hey, fuck you. Oh, that does look like me.
And they're kind of like both turned towards each other, chuckling with this big booger hand.
Gray's gonna nod and kind of go, yeah, does look like her.
Mind you, you heard that, and you understood what they were saying, but they were definitely not speaking common. But you say that in common? Is what I'm understanding? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
I'll say that without context straight to read.
Holy shit, wow. Both those perception checks, a 16 and an 18, which is hilarious because it was 1s, 7s, and 6s before that. So both of them, as you speak, big booger hand turns towards you, snot still kind of like strung out and dripping, and his eyes wide. He stands to full attention. At this point, he's easily 15 feet tall. I mean, he is literally a huge creature. At minimum, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. This thing is just fucking bulbous. And his eyes go wide and looks down at you, and he says, in common,
Well.
and then he wipes the snot all over his bare chest, now kind of like caressing his nasty, thick, spiderwebby looking chest hair.
What do we have here? I can't see what you are. What the hell are you? You a human? I see you are a green skin. Interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh good, you speak common. That'll make this easier.
It'll make this easier. What do you mean? Hey, you're not doing anything fancy, are you?
And he reaches down and he picks his club up with the booger hand. He doesn't get aggressive with it, he just picks it up and lets it rest on the ground.
No, I wouldn't think of it. See, me and my friend here want to cross this bridge. Because it's kind of, you know, one of the main ways out of here.
He turns back and he looks at the bridge behind him and he goes,
Oh yeah! I forgot about the bridge. I mean... yeah. Me and my friend here are the toll collectors, I think. So you owe us a toll, and we'll let you go. I think.
But what do we do if we don't have any money?
Money? Who said anything about money, human? We're fucking hungry, mate! You got meat? Or cheese, or bread, or wine, or ale, or,
the guy behind him turns around
Oh, ask him if he's got any squid. I love squid.
and he goes,
Oh, yeah, you got any squid? My friend here, he loves squid. Delicious.
The fuck's a squid?
You've never had a squid, gobbo?
No?
I think it's this weird many-arm thing in the port. I can't remember. I've only seen it like once.
Yeah, it's got like a face made of tentacles and it's real slimy and it goes down the gullet and sometimes it'll try to bite you if you don't kill it first.
Sounds awful.
Now it's fucking delicious, mate. Come on.
Well, did you
I'll
check
take
if
your
there
word
are,
for it.
did you check if there are any squid in the river?
Yeah, of course we check for squid in the river. There's only fish in this river, and frogs, and rocks, which are also delicious. But I want meat. So there's my friend here.
And then the other giant turns around and says,
So he doesn't have any squid? No, he doesn't have any fucking squid. Settle down.
he turns his gaze back towards you.
So I'm gonna meet you, Dot. And I want your coin. I can't eat your coin, and nobody will fucking take coin from me anyways. I tried in Blackburg. You know what they did?
What did they do?
At this point, he pulls his loincloth over to the side, and he grabs his junk and pulls it with it, but he shows you on his left thigh, on his left inner thigh, there's a massive, probably like human arm-sized scar. Very badly healed scar.
They shot me with a fucking ballista.
Oh, that's fucking rude.
That's fucking what I said. I was just trying to buy meat with coin from toll collecting. Fuck.
Well, if you just need some food, we can probably get you some food. Fuck, you know.
I don't need food. I fucking want food.
Okay,
I'm
need
afraid
one.
I don't have anything on me. Do you have anything, Reed?
I mean, I don't, but I think I know who does.
What the fuck?
I mean, I
Yeah,
got
that's a good
some,
point. What do we do if we don't have food?
He starts to eyeball you up and down as you say that, Gray. I mean, like, literally from head to toe, and you see him kind of focusing on the outer portions of your body, and he goes,
Well, you're barely a fucking morsel. Your friend there. I mean, we don't eat gobbo, we're better than that, no offense. But what
yeah,
about...
we're full of weird diseases.
And last time I ate it, I had to drag me ass across the grass for a week and a half with the worms. Those two lasses back there, though, they're not worth nothing anyways. They're like little nuggets of food. So...
Oh, well, hey, I mean, just to hold you over for a minute, I got some fire belly. You want some of that?
The fuck is fire belly?
Oh, you don't know what fire belly is?
No.
he looks down at his own belly, and he goes,
No, not your
I
belly.
think-
No, it's like, it's booze. It's like whiskey, but like it burns all the way down.
What's whiskey?
Oh my god! All right, here. Let me just. She'll pull the bottle of fire belly out of her bag,
okay.
and it's probably like, you know, itty bitty to him. It's probably like a little like thimble.
How much of it did you have? Did I tell you? Did I ever give you that amount?
It just says 1 pound.
Okay, what is it? What's the denomination though? Is it a flask, a keg, a bottle?
Bottle.
Bottle. Okay. So he kind of he takes the bottle from you very gingerly. He's actually very delicate when he takes it from you, and he kind of like holds it up and he looks at it, like flicks the cork off, and the top of the bottle just shatters off of it. And he goes,
Oh, shit. Sorry.
That's cool, man.
and he kind of just throws the whole fucking bottle, glass and all, into his mouth, and he begins to chew it. Give me one moment here. Not even hill giants are immune to the effects of the beauty that is fire belly.
In the meanwhile,
Oh
Gray's
my
gonna-
god. I rolled a nat fucking 1. Even with his bonus, it brings it to a 5, but that is a horrible failure for Fire Belly. Wow. Okay, sorry, Gray, what's happening now?
I said Grail's just kind of signal over the other two because they're clearly been seen, and I don't think it's gonna do much.
Okay, are either of you two reacting or no?
Grail's just gonna wave his hand.
Doc, Aurora, hello, are you guys playing?
Yeah, we're playing. He just said he'd wave his hand. Are you trying to wave us forward? Or?
Yes, he
Yeah,
just said
wave
he's
is
trying to, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I misunderstood that too.
Yeah. So Doc would kind of nudge Aurora and then start walking forward. but carefully because she doesn't want to piss off. She doesn't know everything that's been going on, so she doesn't want to piss off the giant.
Okay. So as you two kind of approach the rear of where Ree and Gray are, you catch this giant picking up the tiny bottle of Fire Belly and flicking the top off. There's an audible shatter of glass, and then it just throws the whole thing in its mouth. It begins to chew.
Ow!
And as it breathes out, you guys see smoke begin to spill out of its mouth as it sits back down, drops the club, and kind of lists its head lazily to one side, and you hear...
Wow. Now that is tasty. Ugh. Hey, you got any more of that Fire Belly, Gummo?
No, that was the last of it.
Unfortunately, you managed to take all we had. Was it okay? Is that enough for us to cross? I'd say it took quite a bit.
Quite a bit. There's barely a fucking thimbleful. Human, I want meat now. I'm hungry.
At this point, you can see he's actually starting to bead sweat, and every time he breathes, you guys get, like, cinnamon burps.
Doc will look back toward Aurora. Aurora, didn't we, borrow more Fire Belly from... Oh, maybe that got lost when my unfortunate situation.
So at this point, the other hill giant walks up behind him, and he puts his hands on his shoulders, and he kind of like tilts him to one side. He pulls his head in, and he goes,
You alright, buddy?
and the now clearly intoxicated hill giant looks up at him and says,
They got no more of this Fire Belly, but feels good, and I want more, and I want meat. Greasy meat, I want mutton. You got mutton?
and he says,
No, I don't got mutton. Maybe they got mutton. That's what they gotta pay with this meat, isn't it?
and he goes,
Well, they said they were gonna give me Fire Belly, and then they just tricked us. They fucking tricked us.
Wait, I have something.
Belly.
You might like this, and Doc will start digging, and she's going to take out 2 macarons. I know you said meat, but give it a chance, and she'll, like, walk
they
up
both
and-
squint hard down at the macaroons, and the one that's intoxicated puts his hand out, and as you gingerly drop the tiny macaroon in his big fucking like cow-sized hand, he looks up at it and goes,
She just keeps nodding.
What in the absolute skull-breaking, gut-wrenching, puke-infested, maggot-spilling fuck is this?
It's delicious. Try it.
Really
is
is really
trying.
delicious.
make a persuasion check. Do it with advantage because he is intoxicated and a fucking idiot. And I think that's probably what gives you more of the advantage than anything. These things, yeah, it's like a 5 intelligence. It's not good.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to be Gray and trying to think of a way to deceive them, but I'm not good at it.
I got a, I don't know why both didn't come across because they're close, but I got a 11 and an 18, so the 18 is my high.
That's why only one came across it since you're high.
Fair enough.
Yep. Give me a moment. The giant looks down at the macaroon and he says,
Alright. Alright, let's give it a little taste then, shall we?
and he pops it in his mouth. And his eyes immediately light up.
Alright.
And at this point, drool starts to spill out of his mouth as his salivary glands have clearly never tasted anything quite this good before. Literally, a river of saliva begins to spit, and as he begins to talk through it,
Yeah. Oh, God, what is this? More. Yeah, more, please, more. Give me more.
and his buddy pops the one into his mouth, and he starts to chew, and he goes,
Oh, damn, this is good. Yeah, no, give us more. Yeah, more of this. Fuck the mutton. This is delicious.
So would I know if harm can come to people who eat too many gnomish macarons?
"That's a really good question. Make a your choice, history or survival. Your choice. Both answers will be different."
Okay. Oof.
You think back historically, and you don't recall ever any of the gnomish eating competitions ending in death, but definitely ending in many comatose evenings for the winners. Yes, you do.
Okay, alright. Best case scenario in both. Alright, so she'll take out a couple more.
How many is a couple? I need an actual number because this is a very specific thing here.
So I will give them each 2 more. So it'll be 4 total. Which, for the record, takes us down to still 50 macarons, guys. And she'll say, I have to tell you, be careful not to eat too many at
They
once."
immediately shove them in their mouths, all of them, all 3 each, and begin to chew.
Oh, yeah, this is the God's horn. That's so fucking delicious. More. I want more. I don't want mutton. I want these. Give me more.
Okay, I'll give you more if you move out of the way. Just scoot on over. Just
The one who's currently not intoxicated, he grabs his buddy by the shoulder and kind of pushes him down, and he says,
That's not how this works. No, we tell you when we've had our fill.
okay. Take out one more each for them. Hand them over.
They both look down at the one in their hand, and the one above says,
You gave us more last time. You trying to cheat us.
No, I'm trying to make sure you don't get sick.
Who do you think we are? I'll eat a whole flock of mutton sheep. Give us more.
Okay. She'll hand them each another one so that they each have 2.
they both pop them, all of them, both of them, into their mouths. They begin to chew furiously, and they are, I mean, literally, just spit and snot is pouring out of their mouths, like out of their tear ducts, their mouth, their nose, and it is just saliva all over their chest, onto the ground, and they are just slapping their knees and just, I mean, hooting and hollering over these flavors that they have clearly never tasted before. The one who is not intoxicated looks down.
More. Please. They're so delicious. I just want more.
Just said please. Doc's gonna look over at Aurora for permission almost, since she's the one who bought all these.
Aurora is a decent distance back, but she's watching this and just kind of just shrugs and gestures.
Well, why don't you 2 have a little picnic over here, and then I can set up a little setup for you so you can have more than just a couple at a time. Right over here, and she'll point.
The one who is not intoxicated looks down at you and says,
How many of those you got?
I'm not great at counting, but a bunch.
How many you got?
I'd say about 10 more, I think. Right, Doc?
Doc nods furiously.
okay, one of you make a deception check.
Right.
With advantage, since you decided to help each other.
Oh my god, Lucy, way to go, man.
That was actually really well played. I'd give you anher inspiration, but you already fucking,
so
you
glad.
took it to the, I mean, I don't know, man, you got back to Africa for the summer and you just fucking took off.
He said that, and I was like, oh, yes, jumping on board.
Oh shit. Give me a second, let me make a couple checks here. Wow. I even rolled a nat 20 and I still only came in at an 18. Just so we're clear, by the way. So, fuck my rolls. It was not possible. Okay. So, so the big one, the one in the back who's not intoxicated, says,
Oh yeah, no. 10 sounds good, yeah. No, like that. What do you think about that, Jerry?
and the one who's slightly intoxicated looks up and he goes,
My belly hurts. You think I... Alright, all better. Yeah, bike sounds great.
Doc tries. So she's had years and years of.
Doc, make a Constitution saving throw. It is foul. He just baked biscuits from here to Sunday.
About a 13.
I'm so glad I stopped eating before that happened.
Alright, Doc. Holy shit. Doc, you take 10 points of poison damage as the intensity of the sulfur that left this thing's bum fills your nostrils and immediately makes you and you puke all over yourself. Your rations are gone for the day.
Oh, sorry. I'm really excited for you guys. She's gonna pull out 10 more of the macarons and set them down here and stumble to the bridge. Move.
Alright, as you do so, you drop the 10 macaroons, and they begin to physically fist fight each other to grab as many of the macaroons as they can. Jerry,
Right, that's not for you.
the other one,
Hey, that is for me. That one tasted like, well, hey, I don't know. Fuck you, Jerry. Give it to me.
and they just both start to bam! I mean, literally fight and club each other over these macarons. What is everybody doing? Doc is stumbling and puking her guts out.
She does one of these toward Aurora. And starts
Where'd you
moving
go?
toward the...
Alright, so everybody begins to bolt across the bridge as these two idiot giants fight each other physically over the macaroons. Yes, go ahead.
As Gray gets to the other side, he's gonna say, "This might be the last ones you get for a while, so try and get as many for one of you as you can."
Ooh, make a persuasion check, Gray.
I want this to work out, so I'm gonna use my DM inspiration. Never mind.
Okay, so, and I rolled perception checks to see if they hear you over the fighting, and they succeeded, both with 15s. They both stop, look up towards you, Gray. And almost in unison, you hear... And they jump at each other, and literally, Jerry, the drunk one, grabs the other one in a headlock, wraps his legs around the one who is sober, rears back in a full rear chokehold, and then takes his left hand and just punches him in the jaw until he finally flops a few times and stops moving. And you hear him go,
I got him.
Gray's then as he goes, is gonna go, we should go now.
and you guys take off from the encounter. So, Doc, the tail end of that last chunk that you took out was 22 macaroons plus the initial batch of 4 each, which was 8. So it's 30 total that you just used.
We're at 36.
Am I correct in saying that there was 30 you just used? Because you gave him each 1 and then each an additional 3, which would be 8 total plus 22 at the end. So that's 30 you just used, and you still have over 30.
Yeah, we have 36. We had over 60 when we started
Okay.
today. I took them out every time I said I was taking them out.
I just want to make sure because you guys have rested a lot and eaten a lot of them, and you only purchased in the 70s. I think it was like 75, right?
We're at 36. I've taken it out every single time. We're at 36 right now. I was taking them out.
Hang on one second. Hang on, I'm gonna stop you. You can't stop. Aurora, how many did you purchase in the initial batch?
I thought it was 80, but I'm gonna check. Just
Okay.
to
I'm pretty sure. I think it was 75, but even if it was 80, I just want to make sure because I don't think the math works out with the number of days that I have tracked since you guys purchased them. Because you guys have eaten no rations except for these. You've always chosen to eat these, except for the deer, the one time. Yep.
And it only takes one per person each time, correct?
One per person, but that's 4 per day.
Right, that's what I've been doing.
And you guys bought these over a month ago, which is why I'm asking.
Yeah, but we didn't always use them.
I understand. I take notes on my calendar. That's why I'm asking, because my math doesn't add up. I'm showing you guys as having 8 less, which is 2 days worth less. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because 2 days less of rations is the difference between survival and starving.
So we got 80, and it cost, the number worked out to being 7 and 5, which is why that was in your ring. So
Gotcha.
80. I got 80.
Done and done. Okay, so you toss the macarons, you flee the scene, and you cross the river successfully without any major incident.
And just so you
On
know,
our side.
Yeah. Once we're like a safe distance away and Doc is no longer throwing up, she will eat another one, so we'll be done with it.
Okay. Yep. So Doc gets to the tail end of the bridge, downriver, probably a mile or so, and the whole way, you guys, she's literally she's dry heaving, gagging, retching, and Doc. I'm not going to put too much of a descriptor on here because I think farts personally, as even as a full-grown man, are disgusting. But it is the most foul scent that could have left any living entity. You could have sworn that what left this thing was dead 2 weeks ago. It was horrific.
That was grosser than the autopsy I did.
So as we get like around the corner from them, Aurora would hit Doc with like 3 spells in rapid succession as they're kind of moving. It would be Lesser Restoration, a Cure, and Prestidigitation.
All right. So as that happens, sorry, I apologize. I was rerouting your guys' line so that it wasn't up at Lumber Camp Riptide. As you hit her with all 3, she wasn't poisoned, but the effects do flee her system with Lesser Restoration. The Cure obviously heals her of the hit points, and I'm sorry, what was the third spell?
Prestidigitation, because she reeks.
Yes, and the prestidigitation wipes the scent of whatever the hell that was away from her, because whether it was her own puke or the giant's fart, it definitely stuck. Okay, so go ahead.
As she does that, Doc would sort of, she's like gray, not like gray.
Rose,
but
I
like
just wanted to
color
take a quick
gray.
moment and say thank you so much for the gift sub to
Pale and just
Lucy. I
looks
did see that. I
disgusted,
did
and
hear
then as
that.
you do that, a look
Thank
of
you,
relief
thank you,
comes
thank
over
you
her face,
so
but she
much.
looks like somebody who mistakenly rode the wrong roller coaster. Like she can't believe what just happened, and now she was so sick from it. And then she'll pop the macaron into her mouth and just kind of give a nod to Aurora.
Aurora's gonna just nod back, bump her arm, and then go back to her place at the back of the party.
Doc will linger back a little bit too, so she's a little closer to Aurora, but not right up in her bubble.
It's a great idea there, guys. Worked out really well.
Oh, it was super for everybody involved.
Yeah, I say it worked out pretty great.
Honestly, those things were gonna go bad soon. I feel a little bad that they didn't just eat themselves to sleep and ended up. I hope it was sleeping, knocked out.
Oh, I hope he killed his friend. Completely. It's one less hill giant for us to deal with another time.
It's one less hill giant to harass or hurt someone else. That's what we'll say, Gray. You're right. That's a good point, Gray.
Whatever, I'm not coming.
Good point, Gray.
And we didn't have to risk any injury.
Us.
I don't know. I think dogs definitely look better.
That look, I have cut into organs that didn't smell that bad. It was dead when he ate it. It was dead. Mm-mm.
She
Well,
seems
they
That's
just
not
said
what
con.
they
they
ate
do,
raw
right?
stuff.
They just eat anything they can eat. So they probably did eat a couple dead deer or something. You know.
For a long time. It was dead for a long time.
Yeah, and Doc and Reese
That's
specifically, you
surprising.
know the tales of like hill giants literally like in battle killing enemies of civilized society wearing like armor and weaponry and just consuming the armors and the weapons. Just whatever. Just eat it. Cattle, carts. It's very rare when hill giants go to war if they succeed and if they win to find any trace of it except for bloodstains and piles of poop.
Yeah, you know how when you walk up to a battle scene that was from like 2 weeks ago and there's still bodies there and they're not doing great? It was exactly like that, except like 10 times worse.
Nice. Anyway, we should probably get going.
I assumed we were still walking. Take the fuck
Well,
away.
Gray's gonna walk faster.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kind of doing the beeline.
Okay, as that's happening, Ree, I need you to give me 3 survival checks. Unless anybody is taking the lead on this route outside of Ree.
Question: what would you consider the terrain to be?
Depends on where you're at. If you guys are actually hugging where the river is at, it's plains.
Assume that's kind of the path at least Rhea would like to start off taking, but if plains is Aurora's deal.
Yeah, she's definitely a little better there.
She's a
Difficult terrain doesn't slow your
planeswalker.
group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger even when engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace. Like, this is her jam.
So here's the thing, though. That means that you need to be making the survival checks, not Ree.
Yep. And I will gladly do that.
Okay, so are you going to just push Ree aside and say, no, give me the map?
Yep.
Okay.
So it would probably be as kind of start walking, Aurora would look around a little bit and then would increase her pace to be kind of by Ree and say, hey, Ree, this isn't so much your area anymore. Why don't we try changing the route just a little bit?
Yeah, if you got a
And
better
just
idea, I'm for it.
point.
Yeah, have at it.
Okay. Yeah, so with your natural explorer ability and grassland being your forte, one of your 2 fortes, this is definitely your area. So you go an hour, and as you get into the groove of overland grassland travel, you start to do your thing. So with that being said,
And we do. And
So
she is gonna be
survival-
using the map too as we go.
okay, so survival is a wisdom check, so go ahead and give me 3 survival checks and then double your proficiency modifier. If it's not already doing that.
Yeah, there's a little button in the extension. We'll see if this works. This should be at a +10.
Yep, definitely gave the bonus. Okay, so that's for day 1. That's to Jesus Christ, that's a max roll. That's a nat 20. So a 24, a 30, and an 18. So you bypass the second encounter I had planned for this thing. And no, I'm kidding. There wasn't a second encounter. It was just the giants. They were just a lot of fun to write. But yes, Lucy, what are you doing? I see a hand raised. Yeah, yes, back in the classroom.
As we get closer to Kerberg, especially because I have a bounty in this area, probably. As we get into like view distance, Gray would cast Sky South and turn into a a short gnome, like Doc, or whoever's closest. He'll turn into whoever's like closest, which is either Doc or Ree at this point.
Probably
So
gonna
it's
be
either a
Ree,
goblin or a gnome.
High or low? Lucy,
Low.
high or low?
Low killed Doc, so I'll go with that one. I mean, not Doc. but-
Ernie. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I rolled a 50 exactly, so it's low. Yep, so it's Doc.
So he turns into a gnome.
Okay, so you as you begin to approach Kerberg, you guys can see the city walls on the outside, and you're just like, not doing this. And in Gray's form, suddenly, and without comment, shifts down to that of a small male gnome. I assume. Are you changing gender, or are you staying gender?
I'll stay male.
Okay.
I cannot do a female.
But you can do Gartok like a fucking champ.
You do, yeah. Okay. Getting a glimpse of what'll happen when we reincarnate you.
What you doing?
I'll help. I don't want to be a dwarf. I mean, a gnome.
Yeah, I like you taller anyway.
How resurrection's been going, I'll definitely be the one like you. Maybe a kobold. I don't know why that's calling.
Alright, so thankfully, it only takes about 45 minutes to circumvent Kerberg completely. Around the outside of Kerberg, there are farm fields which you guys kind of bypass around to the east and again along the river. However, along the river, there are wetlands, and within the wetlands, there are rice fields. So, but again, there is elevated paths within those rice fields, and you guys travel very easily over them. This is still considered grassland, and Aurora has essentially led you in the most flawless route possible from point A to point B, which is the swamp as you approach it. And you approach it quickly on the morning of day 3. Yes, Aurora, do you have something?
I want to do my check for creature type thingy as we start to get closer. I've got a 6-mile radius now. So
Okay, what
it's
is that
gonna
ability,
probably be a
please?
lot.
Because that doesn't give me a whole lot. I just need to know
It
exactly
didn't
what
wanna
you're
load
doing.
on me.
Are you talking about hunter sense? No,
The
you're
one
talking...
where
No.
the dragons say aberrations, that one. It is primeval awareness. There we go.
Understood, thank you. So, okay. So... You, on the morning of, by the way, the 10th, Sunday, the 10th of Jury, we will say this is at about 7 a.m., and you've got about a 3-hour walk until you hit the actual swamp. You activate the ability. Go ahead and, how many minutes are you going to be concentrating on it?
No, I'm just doing it for that brief instant. I'm burning a first level.
First level, thank you. Okay. So, as you do so, you focus on the ground around you, and within a 6-mile radius, you sense dragons, fiends, sorry, I have to look at my map and actually draw distances here. It's so crazy. Okay,
6 miles is so much.
Yeah, I know, and it's actually like a full square around where I'm at. So, so you definitely sense dragons, fiends, and fae. Yeah, dragons, fiends, fae. Absolutely, 100%. Yep.
Okay, she'll share that since I'm sure the group is very used to her talking to the ground at this point.
Well, at least know celestials and elementals, I believe was the one you had before.
There were no aberrations either that I could tell. But the world is receptive here, so I don't know how close they are. They could be miles out, but they are near-ish.
Torin. I did see your guide the raid, by the way, and I'm going to take a note on that right now. We will go
It's
ahead
easier
and
to
send it to
listen, yeah.
Jen is online.
But
Thank you, thank you,
anyway,
thank you.
Swamps. Suri, you wanna take points again? I don't. You ever actually been in a swamp?
You're right.
Huh. Doc?
But yeah, I'll take point. Sure.
Has Doc been with her surgeries and having to travel all over? Has she ever been in the swamp?
You tell me, it's your character, not mine.
I mean, I imagined her going everywhere, but I don't
And then
know
there you go,
how...
sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's swamps all over. This just happens to be like the most prominent swampland on the continent. And if Doc has traveled to the other two or the archipelago or the other continent, there are swamps there too. And in the wildlands, there is shitloads of swamps.
Right.
So there is a distinct possibility. You tell me where you've gone. I can't tell you that.
I would say she's been all over. Because, when I wrote her, I wrote that she was a good surgeon.
Sorry.
For an assassin, she's a good surgeon. I think she probably would have been either flown or shipped over. So as we're getting there, Doc's gonna say, okay, so I would suggest tuck your pants into your boots and use high steps. And that was when I was 7'4", so really use high steps if you're less than like 5'6".
Try not to drown.
Aurora just looks at Doc. Looks up at Doc because she's shorter than Doc.
By like 6 inches, I think. Maybe, I don't know, piggyback ride?
Hey,
No.
but
On who?
So
Greg?
wait. So wait, what? You said tuck your boots, your pants into your boots? I'm barefoot.
Yeah, don't step on anything that's not ground.
Nothing is ground in swamps.
She looks at the ground.
Sorry, Xavier. Sorry to interrupt. I have a question. 'Cause
Shoot.
Ray wasn't really from like around this Kroaktar area, and he's also traveled on this continent specifically quite a bit. Can I make like a check or something to see if I know this swamp area as well?
You can make a history check, but you tell me, has Gray ever been here? So here, I will give you this bit of information for free, for you, Gray, specifically, okay? So this swamp is very well known for, it is very well known for harvesting ingredients for the use in alchemical creation. Meaning alchemists come here for all sorts of very, very, very exotic things. It is innately dangerous because things that live here would be like a lot of reptiles, alligators, poisonous snakes, poisonous creatures, big fucking bugs, swamp humanoids like Kotoa, even some human and elven tribes, or even gnomish tribes that just are swamp dwellers. There are also more outlandish things here, like lizard folk and, the stories of trolls. I mean, that is just common knowledge as far as, like, swamps are concerned. But as far as whether or not you have been here or not, you tell me.
It's not. I rolled a 10. So average.
Okay, so we'll say that you have not ever physically been here yourself. With that being said, though, you know what I just told you. I mean, swamps are they're nasty places that people who don't live in the pristine, clean streets of Port Wirelin, They can dwell here and do their thing, collect their swamp moss and their fucking, you know, mosquito pellets, whatever the hell that means. I don't even like that. I don't even like that word left my mouth.
Yeah,
Another weird one
boots,
tonight.
boots might help you to read. Because if you think something's poisonous in the swamp, it most likely is. There's also a lot of stuff that'll probably try and eat you. Most likely reptiles. A few other
Fuck.
stuff that species that live here. Maybe even some gnomes. I heard there's some that strange people like you, Doc, that might navigate here.
What's so strange about it?
Maybe the fact that you were once a 7-foot tall cat.
Alright, I'm gonna give you that one. Again, that's what I was last time I was here, so this is a bit different for me too. And she'll look over at Aurora kind of like empathetically.
All right.
But let's try to find sorry, I'm looking at my notes really fast.
Yeah, if we
Kalmar
can find
Dwarf
this,
set.
yeah, if we can find this guy, or maybe find some trails, because there's a lot of people that come here often to collect herbs and stuff.
Right. And
Can you magically message this contact?
I don't know him. I know his name, but I don't
Should we
Is
really know
that
him.
not
Should we just like
enough?
yell it as we go?
Maybe let's not yell.
I mean, we don't know if he's still. He might be deeper in the swamp than before, because didn't we get information that the swamp is growing?
Yeah. Yes, but it was northeast quadrant. So we're in the really. I guess I could try to send Xavier a message, or you could, right? And see if we could get a little more detail.
Well, let's look first to see if there are any obvious paths or markings. This is obviously,
seems
I mean, this is inhabited. Let's do that first before
That
we use
seems
more
like
resources.
maybe you thing to do.
She shrugs and then starts. Because we're at the edge of the swamp, right? Or are we still a ways out from it?
No, that is correct. You have reached what is the edge of the swamp. And with that being said, as you cross over from grasslands to swampland, the big difference here is that as you're approaching it, you can see what appears to you, especially like a mile out in the flatland, is a dome of darkness. Pure, unadulterated, shadowy darkness that encompasses this thing. It goes up easily a half a mile above the surface of the trees that you can see. And as you reach the edge, you can see trees, swamp trees, trees that are thriving and surviving, but just barely. The ground around you becomes wet, swampy, it becomes sticky, almost bog-like. Like if you step in the wrong spot, it's liable to suck you under. And it's easy enough to avoid the spots where it's really terribly dangerous, but this place is clearly a hostile environment and one that you are not familiar with. And as you penetrate the first row of trees that create the exterior barrier, it is almost completely black on the inside. Your night vision immediately kicks on, regardless of it being 10 o'clock in the morning.
Which means I can't see. Okay. So, or, yeah. We're just gonna, like, go near it, take one look, and, like, just go back to the others. What she is going to do, though, I no longer have that. Oh, yeah, that's because I died. She is going to look for a long by halfling standard stick, to, like, roughly halfling quarterstaff size. She's gonna look for that along the edges of things.
Hey, I have an arrow, you mean wooden stick.
Yeah, like a 4-foot branch.
So
Yeah, pretty much.
So as you look around the edge of the swampy forest, you find sticks and long reeds lying around, and you can easily pick something up that's 4.5 feet tall.
Cool. It's my ground poke and stick now. So
All right, you got a 4.5 foot ground poker.
perfect. Okay. She's gonna go back by the others and just shrug a little and say, "Yeah, swamp's not my thing, and it is very dark in there."
I'll be
but I gotta
Blade
say,
this time.
oh yeah, no, you're taking the lead. I got you a ground token stick. That's the technical term.
Right. I guess I'll try and help as much as I can.
Yeah, but she does. She gives Ree this stick, by the way.
Okay.
It's also goblin sized, and there's
Wait,
so the
don't you need
ground.
this to? Don't you need this to see things?
No, I'm going to cast light for that, but you should use this if you're going to lead us to make sure that we don't step in something that's going to drag us under the swamp and drown us.
Ah, I like that. Okay, yeah, I do that.
Doc, make a
Which
wisdom
means
check.
all of us need to stay close enough to be able to follow footsteps.
Oh, it was almost a nat 20. It's a 10.
Welcome to the club.
I know.
So, but you have been in swamps before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make that with advantage then.
Better.
Actually worse.
Let's roll better.
Disregard. So Aurora
Really wise.
Aurora performs her light cantrip and holds aloft an arrow that glows brightly like a torch. And as you guys begin to move into the swamp, whoever is leading, I need you to please make a survival check. Now, normally, because this is a swamp, you would be rolling with disadvantage. However, because you have a pokey stick to not step, I mean this seriously, because you are not stepping in the spots that are bog versus swamp, you can roll it as a straight roll.
I love our DM.
Fancy pokey stick. No,
So I have. Okay, never mind. I was about to say I have partial proficiency in survival if I'm able to assist.
No, you don't. You have jack of all trades. You are not fucking proficient, and you just get things right sometimes. So you begin into the swamp. As you do so, Aurora, it's fucking dark in here, and even with your light, it's still dark in here. However, over the course of about 20 minutes, the mosquitoes, the flies, the leeches drawn to the light around the 4 or 5 inches of sopping, wet, fetid water that is creeping up and around your boots begin to seriously impact you, clearly drawn to the source of light. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. Damn.
Oh, what? Okay.
Doc and Rear like, whatever, what mosquitoes?
That's a good roll for me. I'll take it.
Actually, that is a pretty good roll for you.
You know, that makes sense. I'm holding the light,
It does.
and I'm shortest. I don't suppose this is against being poisoned, because that would be very convenient. In which case, I'd get advantage.
No.
Darn.
Mosquitoes aren't known to carry poison. Disease, on the
Oh,
other
well.
hand.
I don't know. I view mosquitoes as a poison on the world.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys begin to move into the swamp, it is very slow and very arduous. around 11 a.m., which is a full hour after you guys have entered the actual the confines of this swamp. You are being bitten relentlessly by mosquitoes, flies, gnats, bugs you've never even seen before that have multiple eyes. Some of them are glowing and hissing. It's crazy. Everybody seems okay for the most part. However, suddenly, Aurora begins to laugh hysterically, almost in a maddening manner. Y'all are kind of like, what the fuck? Suddenly... Now, shouting into the darkness, she is screaming with fits of laughter every 30 or 45 seconds. What do you do?
Shut the fuck up.
Would I be...
Aurora, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion until further notice.
So I
is
will
there a way
say...
to actually do that in D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
Yep, you sure do.
You go to conditions. Actually, I need to take that straight. I know that there is a way in game, but for the record, Docs, okay, let me ask Xavier, do you want me to do like an intelligence check or anything, or would it be...
What are you
since
trying
she's
to
been
do?
I was gonna immediately go to Greater Restoration to try to fucking cure whatever is bothering her, since we're in a swamp and it's new and she could be getting poisoned by anything. It's always memorized because of...
Make a medicine check. I don't think you need to make an intelligence check. Make a medicine check.
It's a 14.
Okay, give me 1 moment.
Thank you. I don't want to just say Kevin.
Which one?
Right.
So, Doc, as you turn around and you look at Aurora and you're like, yo, what the fuck? And she's literally, her eyes are completely bloodshot and her pupils are dilated to like the 10th degree. And you guys have been moving for an hour and haven't heard a complaint out of her, and it just suddenly kicks in, right? And as you like kind of grab onto her and you're looking at her, you're like, what the fuck? With a 14 medicine check, you realize 2 things as you are already preparing the Greater Restoration. 1, Greater Restoration is going to have no effect. Greater Restoration cures a charmed or petrified target, or cures a curse, or reduces the effects of 1 ability score. However, she does look extremely exhausted, and you can remove a single level of exhaustion by casting this spell, so you know absolutely that can cure her.
Okay.
As far as the level of exhaustion is concerned.
I honestly, I feel like...
And she is tired. I mean, because she's been screaming now for like, we'll say 30 seconds or so, and in that, she's already doubled over and grabbing at her abdomen as it's cramping, and she's laughing so hard.
I feel like it's a knee-jerk reaction. Like, I can't even fight it as a player. I feel like that's what she would do. She would kind of like reach back, grab her by the shirt, cast Greater
Okay,
Restoration.
hang on.
Then...
As that happens, Doc, make a Constitution saving throw as you touch her.
Oh no.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yeah, and then pull her to her and put a hand over her mouth.
Okay, so you put a hand over her mouth. And what now?
Did the spell go off, I guess?
Okay, no, I'm asking you. What are you doing?
Yeah,
So you
that's
put a
what-
hand over her mouth. And now you are actually incanting, okay? So you are okay. So you have diamond. So you pull a bunch of diamond dust out because it requires a diamond dust worth 100 gold.
Oh, you're right about that.
Yep, diamond dust worth at least 100
I don't
gold
think we have any of
pieces.
that. So it would just be hand over mouth then at that point, and it would be like, shh.
Okay. As that happens, she is still screaming with fits of laughter behind your closed hand. Doc, suddenly, something is fucking hilarious. And your body begins to swelter with heat. And your pupils become dilated and bloodshot as you and Aurora are staring each other face to face. And all of a sudden, Doc... Both of them now cackling, hands off of each other's mouths, are screaming. Gray and Ree, what do you do?
Gray, what, do you know what's happening here? Is this some kind of weird fucking booyah shit?
I have no idea, but what I do know is Doc started laughing when she touched Aurora, so do not touch them.
Are we
Okay.
still moving, or are we completely like?
No, you two are now... You can move, but you are screaming with laughter the entire way, like the fucking Joker.
Doc would keep moving. She'd still have her hand over Aurora's mouth, even though she's laughing, and she'd put her hand over her own mouth, but keep laughing.
You like make them quiet or something? Can you like silence them?
Let me try something. And I'm gonna take out the elixir of health I got a while back from Ree, and give it to Doc to see if she can, if it'll help. This cures it cures any disease afflicting you and removes any blinded, deaf, and paralyzed and poisoned conditions.
Okay, so you pull out the elixir of health, yes? And
Yep.
who are you handing it to somebody? Are you force feeding it to somebody? They are both screaming with fits of laughter. They look lucid. They're still capable of cognitive function, but they are both just, I mean, both of them. Eyes are like the size of saucers, like they both took 2 hits of acid. Bloodshot behind that. Sweating profusely and just like looking around like they are seeing stars. So what exactly are you doing, Gray?
I think he's gonna go down to Doc and go, okay, we're not gonna touch you. I'm gonna hold the vial in front of her very carefully and go, if you can, try and give this to yourself. It might help, it might not. I don't know. That's all I got.
Gray, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As she laughs in your face, there is this inhale that you take ever so slightly, and you feel something enter your body, and you have not only resisted it, Gray, but you are now immune to it for 24 hours. Just so we're clear, okay? So you hand this thing over, you refute whatever she just coughed at you through the laughter, and Doc, you hear what he's saying, and he's handing it to you, and you cannot control the cackles. What do you do?
Am I able to try to quaff the potion, even though
You guys are acting 100% normally, except that you are making noise equivalent of the auditory level of screaming laughter.
Okay,
And Doc, you have also suffered a level of exhaustion. So both of you have 1 level of exhaustion. That's Doc and Cat.
I want to try and get myself with a lesser restoration. Is what I would like to try and
Okay,
do.
hold on. I'm not at you yet, Cat.
Doc would drink the potion, kind of like lock eyes with Gray, drink the potion, and then give it a second.
Okay, so Doc, you chug the potion. The elixir of health is gone. Gray, please make sure that you remove that from your inventory. As you do so, Doc, there is this warmth that washes over the interior of your body. You feel it actually almost... It's almost like a heat, what do they call that? What do they call that with a heat flash, right?
Yeah.
So it's a hot flash. It's almost like a hot flash that washes over your entire body. And you blink a couple times, and the cackling dies down. Oh, what the fuck? And suddenly, you are cured of whatever this thing was. You're not entirely sure what the elixir cured, but whatever you just consumed fixed you. And you now, for the record, have immunity for 24 hours as well as Gray. Okay, so
Okay.
you do that. As you are chugging that, Cat, you are doing something else?
Yeah, if I can, I'm going to try and cast Lesser Restoration on myself. Well, I don't even know if she'll be able to get the incant out, but she's gonna try.
Give me just one moment. Okay, go ahead and give me a concentration check. That's a Constitution saving throw, please. Aurora.
I'm going
So-
to use my inspiration from last time.
Okay, go ahead and roll your inspiration.
Yep. I'm gonna hope.
It's a nat 20. Beautiful. So go ahead and burn that spell slot. And as you begin to focus, you guys hear her incantation as she is, in the middle of the... The flash of energy goes off, and she touches herself, and this green pulse ripples through her body. Her pupils shrink up to normal size. The bloodshot goes away, and she ceases sweating, and the giggles stop. Aurora, you are also immune for the next 24 hours.
You could have done that a bit early. We had to keep
Yeah. Y'all good over there? Go
We're
ahead
all
and
good,
stay
Ray,
all the
but-
way over here.
Yeah, I
I
think we're good, Ray, but you stay a bit back still. Do I know I have immunity for 24 hours? Well, not for that time, I guess, but do I know I have immunity?
You don't. It's not a conscious thing. That was just for the record.
I guess Gray is also gonna back away, thinking that he managed to lessen it by not touching them.
That sucked. A lot.
Well,
We
anything
killed
in
exhaustion,
near...
right? Sorry, I absolutely cut you off, but we still have the exhaustion, right? Because I'll flavor how I...
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Everybody who suffered a level of exhaustion, you still have it. That was Doc
Yeah.
and Aurora.
That fucking sucked. That
And
was-
just for the record, until you take a long rest, that's disadvantage on ability checks.
Just looking at it, yeah.
Doc, as you are sitting here and talking with everybody as you guys have just healed yourselves, go ahead and give me another medicine check. Actually, you know what? You're a
Better.
I was going to say you're a gnome. Oh, yeah, I don't even need to roll it. I was going to say do it with advantage because you're a gnome, which is a very specific thing. So what you were just infected by is a magical disease called cackle fever. It is imposed by mosquitoes that have been infused with infernal energy from Avernus, which is the first layer of hell. When this disease takes effect, it essentially sends its victims into a cackling rage, is what it is referred to, until they are so exhausted from the laughter that they literally die. And anybody who comes within easily 10 to 12 feet of anybody infected by it could potentially, because of the spittle coming out of them via the laughter, could also become infected by it. However, the strange thing about this specific strain is that normally gnomes are immune to cackle fever, and they are the only sentient race on the prime material plane that should be immune to this, and you were very clearly affected by it. Do with that what you will.
you guys will see, Doc will motion for everyone to keep moving. You'll see a very deep sigh. Well, I guess being reincarnated as a gnome.
You just, you're cutting out bad, Candace.
Being reincarnated as a gnome doesn't apparently bring all the positives of being a gnome because that was cackle fever, and gnomes aren't supposed to be affected by it.
Could it be some sort of different version of it?
I mean,
I
for all we
only
know,
know-
insects could be affected by whatever the hell this
Yeah,
stuff
maybe
is that's
maybe
affecting all the other things.
Yeah, maybe the shadows, the Sorrowsworn is amping shit up around here.
Maybe that's what it is.
Anyway, I think we should be moving quite a bit because anything in the near vicinity has absolutely hurt us.
Well, and it's also super contagious. Xavier, do I know that
Yep.
once you resist it, you're good for 24 hours?
That is a fantastic fucking question with your nat 20 medicine check on the disease itself. Yes, you know that once you have overcome the disease successfully, you typically cannot be affected by it for between a half a day and 3 days. And you know that there are variant strains within that timeline.
Okay.
So you've got like 12 to 72 hours.
Marie, you should be fine around us right now, but be really careful. Don't let yourself get bit if you can help it. The three of us should be okay for at least 12 hours.
And with that being said, the mosquitoes and the bugs are still swarming around Aurora's light. I mean, to a horrific degree. It's almost deafening how loud the fucking mosquitoes are.
Doc will put a hand out. So it looks like they're swarming to her light, or we're
Yep.
just seeing them better.
Yes. And no, absolutely. They are going to the light.
Okay. So Doc will put her hand out to Aurora. And does she take it?
She at the moment is focused on staying awake because she's fucking tired. But she does look up and like, oh, and just gives her hand.
I need you to turn off the light and trust me.
She doesn't even hesitate. She snuffs the light.
And the light immediately shifts out of existence, and the dark vision for our 3 dark vision friends kicks on, and Aurora, you are being quite literally led blindly into the swamps, into the swamp of fucking sorrow.
So Doc is going to give her hand a squeeze, and then very carefully step, and she will kind of, I don't know if I can explain this properly, but step in front almost and put both hands behind so she can grab both hands and lead her properly.
You know you could have hesitated just a little.
Says into the darkness.
Oh, great.
And
No,
then
there's a-
Doc, go ahead.
No, I like to believe that Doc starts speaking just as to cut Greg cut off as he's about to say. There could have been, Doc could have just been.
Just follow me. I've got you. She's gonna fully try to speak over Gray without being too loud.
And Aurora is with trusting Doc right now. She is 100% just committing herself to that.
If there's even like so much as a dip, Doc will try to lead her away from it. She's gonna try to show her like it's okay to trust, but also try to get them the fuck through this area.
So, thankfully, Ree's pokey stick has gotten you through the thick of the shit. And as you begin to level out into what is essentially the equivalent of a plains field, a plainy field, a plain, as some would call it, the water level dips a little bit as you begin to move up in elevation, probably about 6 feet or so, but it's just the 6 feet that you need. And as your vision begins to crest up and over the edge of what is the exterior of this swamp, this, my friends, is what you see. in front of you, large, glowing fungi, phosphorescent fungi, kind of surround what is a absolutely massive hut made of not only stone, but thatched in the sense of wood and hay, and also with a wooden and stone cobbled structure around the exterior, meaning the wall structure. There is nobody around that you can see, but there are lights being cast from the inside out. What would you like to do?
With my traveling to swamps and stuff, do I know if these fungi or whatever these are dangerous to touch? Like, should we avoid them? Is there any check I can do?
Make a nature check.
13.
13's not bad. So as your vision glances out and over the mushrooms in your immediate vicinity, they don't look like they're particularly hostile. It's not like the typical hostile shrooms that you've seen before, although the fact that they're glowing is pretty fucking strange, but not strange for a swamp. But the fact that they are outside of what is very clearly a civilized dwelling tells you, within your own wisdom, that probably not that big of a deal. Or they would, or should have been cut down. Unless the person inside is an idiot and a really good craftsman.
Okay.
Do with that what you will.
So with the appearance of sudden light, Doc will give another squeeze, but she's not going to let go of Aurora's hands.
Yeah, you said that there is, so from my screen I can obviously see it as if I had the light spell still. You said there's light coming off of the hut, and then there's light from the mushrooms. How
That's
much
correct.
would Aurora actually be able to see here? Like, can I see what I can see on my screen?
Yeah, so I'm actually, hang on, give me a second. I'm grabbing your character right now. Yes, yep, you sure can.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, no,
And that's
she's
just
not letting go
meeting
of
your
the-
dark, that's meeting like your absence of vision with the light being cast out of this thing.
Yep, that works. Yeah, she's absolutely not letting go of Doc's hands either, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I guess we knock.
Yeah, hopefully he was told to expect us.
I mean, do we know if this guy is actually friendly, or are we just like...
The words used were, he's a friend in the northeast part of the swamp.
Hope we're still in the northeast. I can't tell swamp from swamp.
Can't even see the sky anymore. Okay. Yeah. Want me to go knock? Or...
Yeah, sure. You're a great
I'll-
competition.
Yeah, I'll be right behind you, so I can maybe talk. You knock, I talk. Knock, great talks.
You knock a duck.
We'll see what happens.
She continues to lead. Once restarts moving, Doc will follow.
Yeah, Gray will be there.
Okay.
All
right.
This looks like a door.
So, give me one second. It is a door. Hold on, though. Sorry. I gotta do some things here.
Damn, that's bright.
We are in a line.
Oh,
I
right.
hate that we're in a
Aurora's gonna
line.
Lightning
stay
bolt!
right behind Doc
Doc's
instead
gonna
of her
be.
usual strategic spot.
Yeah, Doc's gonna try to make herself as big as possible to cover Aurora, knowing what could happen after what happened with the fucking baby dragon.
He's got a staff, lightning bolt. Get out.
Fireball, and I can't be affected. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so you, so knocks on the door. From the inside, you hear an audible. The door opens, and standing before you. Hang on, I have to look my character description up here. I apologize. So standing in front of you is a human man dressed in long white robes with a golden chain around his neck that looks worse for wear, kind of beaten up. It's kind of like pinched in one end or in one side, but around his neck hangs a large medallion of Palor. He smiles down at you. He is probably middle-aged, going into the elder years, probably creeping up towards like the 55 age range. Lots of gray peppered into his what was at one point in time blonde hair. Eyebrows are starting to turn ever so slightly, but still has that little fitfulness of youth about him, though it's not by much. Again, long white robes. He's got a golden sash that is clearly hemp but dyed. A couple of pouches hanging off to the side, and he's got a long quarterstaff. And on the end of the quarterstaff is a symbol of a sun emblazoned in gold, surrounded by little silver sun rays. And he looks down and he says, "Oh, now there you are. I've been waiting here a fortnight for you. Xavier said y'all were coming. Didn't realize it was going to be so long, otherwise I'd have had something on. I thought you were good for dead." Come on in. Come on in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we ran into a little bit of trouble getting here. But, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Come on in, everybody, I guess.
So we're gonna switch the map here. You can move yourselves back up to where you are, because I had one map for the exterior and one for the interior.
Yeah, Dak won't step in until she says Kelmar, and then he confirms.
Give me just one moment. I had to update one thing. There we go. Okay, so he steps into the hut, and as he does so, I mean, you guys know how my games work. What you see is what you get. On the inside is what appears to be a very small chapel. It's like a house that was turned into a zone of prayer at some point in time. There is all sorts of things. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things so that we have record for when we pick up next week. Over here on the bottom left-hand corner is a large open tome on top of a desk. As you walk past it, it's written in common and is clearly scriptures to Palor, or scriptures of Palor. These large things hanging that are currently casting what appears to be light, you believed it? Yep, that's right. Those are light sources. They are hanging chandeliers, not really chandeliers, they're more like candelabras on chains. But they are casting light, and they are lit by candlelight. Over here, there are clay jars. There are 5 clay jars on a long shelf. You have no idea what those are at this point. In the dead center of the room, there's a large ornate rug with 4 3-person, what you would assume are pews, or seating arrangements for people at a ceremony or a religious service. Directly in front of those is a large wooden table with tons of little ornaments on it that are very clearly meant for some sort of religious service. At the back of the room, to the north here, you see a large banner. It is a metal rod sticking up and out of the ground, and the sigil, the heraldry that's hanging off of it, is that of Palor, okay? But above it is the sigil of the Port Werlin freestanding army, which is a golden crown with platinum like light rays coming off of it. And you know that is Queen Lydia Marsum's heraldry. Besides that, there is a partition right here made of fabric and wood, and behind that you see nothing. So this guy, he walks in, he leads you in, and he kind of gestures to the seating, and he kind of like motions at the floor and at the rug, and he says, please make yourselves at home. And welcome home as far as home is concerned here in the Swamp of Sorrow.
Doc is stopped at the front door because she will not lead Aurora into danger, and she says, "Are you Kelmar?"
He blinks at you and he goes, "Of course I'm Kelmar. Kelmar Yorsif. Welcome on in. Priest of Palor, by the way. Here on, well, I suppose it started as a pilgrimage, but it's ended up much more from that, much more than that, I suppose. But yes, by the will of Queen Marsum, I am here, and he is here." And he glances up at the ceiling, and now as you guys look up at the ceiling, there is an absolutely ornate tapestry nailed to the ceiling that depicts a golden sun overlooking a red sea, and in the center is a single black line, and you recognize this very clearly as the heraldry of a Palor fighting back against the forces of darkness in the first happening.
And in light of recent events, meaning like the last year and a half of playing, and also the fact that she's leading Aurora, can I do an insight check, please?
Absolutely. God, I wish you guys did that more. People lie to you non-fucking stop.
It's a 25.
25, this man is absolutely the most wholesome person you've probably met this entire campaign.
Okay, so Doc, Aurora will feel Doc kind of pull her forward a little bit closer, and then Doc will start to walk in. And she will loosen her grip in case Aurora's not interested in walking into this building, but it's kind of like a reassuring squeeze to her hands first.
Yeah, nope. She committed to blind trusting Doc. So if Doc's horribly wrong and this person is horrific, then she'll
We
just
both
blame
die.
her.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
Everybody
she'll
dies.
follow. The one
You
thing
get a
she
death,
does
you get a
know-
death, and you get a death.
Those were only 3. What happened to the 4th?
Oh, you gone, baby.
You're already
Yeah,
dead.
yeah, you were already dead. Okay, I'm sorry. Cat, please.
No, and I was gonna say the only thing that she really will do is she's gonna shift her because she's holding Doc's hand. She's gonna shift her like shoulders just a little bit to make sure that the bow will easily swing into her grasp if she needs it. So I don't know how perceptive this dude is, but that's the only thing that she does besides just blindly trusting Doc here.
All right, give me just one moment. He doesn't seem to notice, as he is much more focused on people who have actually entered the room. So, he kind of motions you to sit. Right. So, I hear you're all real important as far as the grand scheme of things is concerned in our current situation here with, he points up. He says, the Shadow Dragon.
You know about him. Yeah.
Well, I know little bits and pieces. I tried to open my senses and ask for information, but unfortunately the good Lord giveth and the good Lord taketh away, and sometimes I swing and a miss, right? You get that, don't you, Ree? And Ree, it dawns on you, you didn't give this guy your fucking name.
We just assumed that Xavier told him her name.
He glances
Yeah.
over at Doc, looks down. So, you leading this expedition, or what, sweetheart?
Fortunately for my group here, I think I kind of am.
I don't think it's unfortunate. I can see by the chain around your neck and that sweet little nugget swinging from side to side that you got the strength of the glitter bright underneath your heels, underneath your boot, and at the top of your crown. Kind of like your Azimov friend over here, who clearly fell from grace, but, boy, you're bouncing back awfully nice, aren't you? Glances at
Doc
Gray
has a
and
weird,
blinks a few
proud
times.
Smile. Sorry, Doc has a weird proud smile when he says that. Kind of like a proud parent over Gray.
Gray's gonna hear that and think back to what the Archdruid said, whose name I can't remember because
Archdruid Lasui.
yeah, the sweet, and he's just gonna frown and go, "Yeah, I suppose I am, fortunately."
Right. So, what can I do y'all for? You looking for some rest and relaxation? Some food in your bellies? What can I do for you? I know you've been traveling for a while. I heard you came all the way down from the Grelian Mountains. Now, that ain't no easy task. You found your way all the way through the swamp. Oh, my goodness. You are all blistered and bruised to... Kingdom come. Look at them bites.
Yeah,
Who
we're apparently
lit
really
a
tasty.
torch? Somebody lit a torch in that swamp.
Doc will completely avoid looking at Aurora. 100%.
Gray is absolutely looking at Aurora 100%.
And he follows the
Aurora
gaze
is
just a little bit down at Aurora.
Being exhausted and using that to her advantage to like not acknowledge this.
He kind of nods heavily, though, down at Aurora and then looks at the rest of you. It ain't her fault. Shame on every single one of you for leading this sweet little creature into darkness without the light of your own hand to guide her way. You should have known better. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get angry and I don't mean to be ornery, but you should have known better. You knew what she was capable of and what she wasn't. And you let her just do her thing. And look at her. Sweet little face swollen up like a bunch of plums sitting in the old fruit basket. The hell's wrongs with you?
It's my fault.
Well, no, you didn't. No,
That's not what she
no,
normally
it's
looks
not.
like.
No, it's not. They didn't do. I'm sorry. I don't know. I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. But they have done everything that they can to keep all of us alive. We protect each other. Not a single one of us knew what was going to happen if I lit that spell in that.
Oh,
that swamp.
sweet baby. Sweet baby girl. Yeah, at
Oh,
least...
sure. Her hackle is like metaphorically rise at that because no.
He says, oh, sweet baby girl. At least two of your companions knew exactly what was going to go down, and they just let it happen anyways. But that's okay. That's okay. Because you're here now. I got you. Uncle Kelmar's going to take care of you. It's going to be no big thing. We got a darkness hanging over this swamp that is darker than any darkness has ever swamped before. And I promise you, we going to take care of it. You're going to get yourselves a good night rest. I'm going to heal you up real good. And we're going to figure this thing out. You understand me?
Yeah.
Doc
Yes, sir.
nods fervently.
Doc's
Aurora's
like,
just-
oh shit.
He's unhappy looking at this one.
She's just feeling like consistently inconsistent squeezes from Doc on her hand. Like, don't freak out. It's okay.
He kind of, at this point, he nods and he goes, all right, all right. He walks over to his table and he grabs a small jar that's kind of open-faced but has like a loosely hung lid over the top of it. He picks it up, sets it to the side, and he walks over and he hands it down to you, Doc, and he says, now, ladies first, go on behind the partition, disrobe yourselves, and slap this powder on. It'll take care of the bites that are all about yous. And after you're done with that, you let the gents take their, and he kind of glances down at Ree. My goodness, I'm so sorry. I did not realize All right, you take all 3 years back there then. You go by yourself.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I get that a lot. It's the muscles.
You are very strong and very capable, bless your sweet little heart.
That will lead Aurora back again, and then like motion for Ree to follow and take the powder.
We put this on our bits, or what are we doing?
Everywhere, baby. You just put it all over everything. It's gonna take care of them bites, and it's gonna eat them right on up.
Will it get the leeches between my toes?
Oh shit, you got leeches, and from over the partition comes a pair of tweezers. Plum 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 plum. You may want to pluck them bad boy. Okay, thank you.
Doc will grab the tweezers. Doc will not disrobe first. She's gonna make sure the other 2 are taken care of first. First Aurora, then Ree. Take care of the leeches. Once the 2 of them are taken care of, then she will take care of herself.
So as this probably good 15 minutes of pampering is happening, we are going to end tonight's session, but not before. Gray, as the ladies disappear behind the partition to quite literally powder themselves and pick leeches from their toes and their feet, the priest looks down at you, and he sits in the pew across from you, but he leans heavily over the edge. And we will end tonight's session with this sentence from him to you. So tell me, sweet boy, how did you fall from grace? And that's where we're going to end tonight. Because if we don't leave it on a cliffhanger, it doesn't make sense, right? Now you have 7 days to think about what this man just said. All right. So tell me,
we
sweet
could have
boy.
probably just ended it before.
He could have absolutely ended it right before that, but no. We just want to make sure that you get everything you deserve. Okay, yeah, no, that's it. Any questions, comments, or clarifications on my end before we end it for the evening? All right, cool. So, guys, we'll end it here for tonight. Just so you guys know, we'll be picking up at about 11 a.m. on the 10th of Jury, which was 3 days later than we started at the beginning of the session. Next week on Sunday, and then Kat and Lucy and Candace, I'll see you on Saturday next week and the Saturday after for part 1 and part 2 of July's campaign 2, because we're doing those back to back, which is going to be crazy. So a lot of D&D coming up this next month.
Yeah.
I hope we go both weeks.
I hope we go. You know what? Now that you say that, man, I hope we go both weeks too, because I'm not gonna lie. I did the math. There's like I think it's like 86 point something % chance that this is just gonna be a TPK, because fuck. All right. Thank you guys for being here.
We score odds.
Yeah, that's true. That actually, you know what? That's not wrong. You guys have faced way worse odds in this campaign, actually. All right, guys.
I'm gonna trust you guys' method of getting the fuck out of here.
Hell yeah! All you gotta do is run, man. Run. Fuck everybody else. Save yourself, baby.
I will try to.
Garthok's like, get the fuck out of here.
Sybil's like, I can just go back to being a guard. We can just never talk about this again.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a fantastic week of work and games and all things fun.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Not everybody.
See you guys.
Night, everyone.
All right, my friends, we are going to raid. Jen is online, who is doing all sorts of cool birthday stuff, including with Rocker Joe, apparently a potato wearing a crown, a lady who has half of her head shaved, which looks beautiful, by the way. And I'm digging the swept to the side faux hawk. God, I wish I could grow my fucking hair like that. She puts me as a natural bald man to shame. And then, yeah, the rest of these fine gals. Yeah, so let's do it. We are raiding in the next 5 seconds. This is a birthday raid, by the way, on behalf of Torin. So, we got about 5 seconds. 4, 3. Thank you for joining us in Dungeons and Dragons tonight. We'll see you next week. Actually, we'll see you, most recently, we'll see you tomorrow, or I mean, not tomorrow, Tuesday, for Crochet and Chill. And then we'll see you on Thursday, hopefully, for Watch Party Thursday. I think, by the way, we are looking at maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, the original. All right, guys.
Okay. Nothing here. Can we keep the rat?